Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, great Biafrans and lovers of freedom. This is Radio Biafra HAUSA-SERVICE coming to you through the auspices of Radio Biafra London. My name remains Mazi, Jonathan Chinedu, and with me here as my co-host is Mwada Marian T. Heather. Today being Saturday, the 30th day of April 2022, the day we consecrate for now for discussions concerning religious issues. Therefore, I welcome each and every one of you to welcome your friends and well-wishers onto this hallowed platform, because this is where we worship. Please, you can listen to us even via Facebook, Radio Biafra London. We are there live and direct, but I don't understand the noise. There is, I think it's noisy. You know, we'll correct all these things little by little. So I don't know whether people are listening via our Facebook page. I hope so. It doesn't matter the sound quality, but we have to improve. We shall improve on it. Therefore, without wasting time, because there is another schedule also which will be coming after, without wasting much time or taking much time, we must go into the subjects of our discussions today. Before we do that, I would want us to pray. I'm just trying to check about the sound quality. I would want us to pray, and our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will lead us in a pre-recorded prayer. Let us pray.
We offer him praise. That is why we offer him adoration and adulation. That is why we have come to submit all that we are today, likely to be tomorrow, and any time in the future, to the mercy and the grace of the throne of heaven. Therefore, Chukwu okike abịama, ekekele igwe n'ụwa basibi n'igwe, nna eze onye ebube, na ngozi na n'otuto na n'ịja mma niile onye nwe m na Chineke. Anyị na-akpọku aha nsọ nke gị, anyị na-erubere gị isi, na-akpụ isi ala nye gị, n'ihi na onweghị onye ọzọ anyị ga-efe ma ọ bụ naanị gị Jehovah. Only you are we going to worship. Therefore, we present before you this very evening. We are fallible. We are blemished. But we trust in you and not in man. Therefore, this very entity, this very sceptered land that you bequeathed to our ancestors, this very place that when you were bringing us to, there was no HAUSA-Fulani anywhere to be seen. But we became so sinful that the very uncircumcised, the very, very Gentile, that is, the white people, British especially, they came, they pillaged, they killed, they colonized, and they handed over your children to those who don't know you. They handed us over to those people. And here we are today. We cannot even worship you properly. We are petitioning you, Chukwu Abiyama, in heaven. Please have mercy upon us. Have mercy upon your children. As we sang when we were younger, please, my Lord, be merciful unto your children. This wasn't your plan for us. There was no time you created us to become subservient. Can you how can your children be slaves? How can your children, your handiwork, the people that you made, how can they become subservient to those who don't worship you? Unthinkable. Is there anything that you want us to do that we are not doing? Is there any other special way? In what way have we wronged you? Are you not merciful anymore? Why are we being humiliated? Why are we being shamed this very way? We call upon your grace with every authority bestowed in us as your children to ask you to come down here to give us the courage, the strength and the fortitude to resist this very evil that is fast advancing and enveloping your children. Never forget that we represent the light. You created us to bring light to this very darkened and hate-filled continent. The time has come for you to make us whole once again. We have sinned and we have confessed openly. We call upon you. We have nobody else if not you. Chukwu okike abiyama. We have nobody else. Nobody else. We have nobody. That is why we come to you. You are not man. Please be merciful. Please raise your children from all over the world, from IPOB families all over this very planet. Give them the vision, the wisdom, the understanding to discern what is to come, and to render every help at their disposal to ensure that your glory will be witnessed upon this very earth, as was prayed for by Yahweh Yeshua, that your kingdom will come and your will be done on this earth as it is in heaven. So Biafra kana your Chineke. I don't want money. I don't want anything to do with wealth. All I want is Biafra, nothing more, nothing less. We are not doing anything with wealth and riches. So when you have absolutely nothing. All we ask for is Biafra. That your name may be worshipped, that you may be praised. Mankind, because of Biafra, will come back to you once again. They will say, we did everything to stop them, but they prevailed. That means that their God is very, very strong. And when they come to us and ask us, please tell us the name of this your God, we tell them, Chukwu Okike Abiyama. We do so that your name may be praised now and to eternity. Ise.
Once again, I welcome each and every one of you to today's edition of Radio Biafra HAUSA-SERVICE, coming to you through Radio Biafra London. My name remains Mazi Chinedu, and with me is Wada Marian. Please, before I go on, Wada, please present yourself before I move on.
Good afternoon, Mazi Jonathan. Good afternoon, my fellow Biafrans. All you great listeners, it's another Saturday. Thank God for life. My name's Marian Ada, and I'm going to co-host with Mazi Jonathan for us to explore about religion in our society. God bless you all as you listen.
Thank you very much, Wada. We must continue without taking much time. As I said, the topic of our today's submission is Simply put, we want to talk about paganism. You know, we want to discuss about paganism. That is the topic of our submission today. But before I go into that, let me quickly scroll on the headlines that I have here. There is a headline that says Nigerian, I'm coming. Say Nigerian soldier kills himself after arrest for aiding terrorists. When you look at the headline of this, you might not understand really what happened. You might not understand. But I want to go a bit reading the body of the headline, the body of the news. It was April 28th headline. Nigerian soldier shot and killed himself after he was arrested for aiding Islamic State for West African province, ISWAP. Lance Corporal Jibrin was an instructor with the Nigerian Army Battalion in Gaidam, Yobe State. A military source told BBC Hausa that the soldier was involved in a series of attacks on communities in Yobe State in recent weeks. The soldier was put under surveillance. This is how, how they always bloat things that even they did not do. I will tell you what really happened. The soldier was put under surveillance after two separate attacks in Gaidam and the Gashua towns in Yobe recently. The soldier, who specializes in arm control, snatched a pistol from one of the arresting officers and killed himself despite being handcuffed. Are you listening? Jibril, who disappeared from his duty post a few days ago, was said to have been sighted among the Boko Haram terrorists that attacked Gaidam town last week. Here is the reality of what happened. This soldier, these are the Boko Haram they recruited. They call what do they call them? The radicalized Boko Haram. They are paying huge sum of money, and they put them inside the Nigerian military. Now, what happened was, this man, this soldier, he has been carrying attacks, leading Boko Haram direct. People saw him and continue seeing him. So it reached a point where the Nigerian military have to do something, or there will be scandal, because the talk has been going under. Now they arrested this man and killed him. It is the Nigerian soldiers that killed him. But they come here, they lied that, oh, he snatched a pistol. Somebody on handcuff, he snatched a pistol and shot himself. Do you know the reason why they kill him? To silence him forever, so that he will not talk. Because they know that when they take him and question him, when they interrogate him, he's going to mention names. That is why they killed him direct. They killed him in order to silence him, and that is it. He died with the secrets he has to reveal. That is Nigeria for you. Because if he didn't die, if they didn't kill him, he will mention names. So now they brought up this concocted story. Oh, he seized the pistol from under handcuff and shot himself. These are lies from the pit of hell. This is how the Nigerian military or the Nigerian government lies. This is how they do. This is how they behave. They always lie. Do you remember when they killed that very bright young lady, Yoruba lady? the first female military pilot, helicopter pilot. Very bright, intelligent lady. And because they sent her down to be bombing Boko Haram. Do you know, these Islamists, do you know what they believe? If you are killed by a woman as a jihadist, you are going direct to hell. Do you understand? If you are killed by a woman, a female, that you are going directly to hell. So, with that, they eliminated that girl, because when she is on the air, on helicopter, throwing bomb, he'll be killing Boko Haram and ISIS members. And they reported and said, no, don't stop the people, the cabal, the presidency, the Islamist presidency of the caliphate called Nigeria. They said, no, this thing cannot, because the people are crying. Say, look, it is better male that kills, because that is what they believe. It is better that a male soldier kills them. They become martyrs. They will go direct to heaven instead of a female. That is why she was eliminated. And they came and purported, oh no, he has accident. One man was doing reverse, and after he jammed her in the military camp. That is rubbish. This is what they do. Do you understand? So when they tell you that this man, oh, he killed himself, they killed him because he's a Nigerian soldier, but leading Boko Haram attacks on villages. That is how they are. Even many of us, when we tell you that the people you are seeing as military in our place in Biafra land, that they are Boko Haram, you don't believe it. Do you? Do you believe it? Now you see it here, that many people, even the villagers, they recognize him. Not once, not twice. If you continue reading, you say he carried out many attacks with the Boko Haram. So he's a popular person. And in order to remove that embarrassment from the military, they have to arrest him and kill him, and now come and dish out their normal lie that, oh, he killed himself. We need to run away from this entity, that devilish, demonic place called Nigeria. Honestly speaking, we need to run away from it. So let me go to the second news headline. They say Salah holidays, DSS alleges a plot to bomb worship recreation centers. That has been few days now, they say, the DSS. Let me tell you also what they want to achieve. You know, this Salah is for Muslims. Do you understand? This thing they dish out is to make people, to make the international community see that, oh, it's not only attack against Christians. Are you understanding me? That, oh, they target even Muslims, they are attacking Muslims, they are attacking Muslims. So it's not Islamic jihadism. It's not about Islamic jihadism. Have you forgotten? I think 2015, there was either 2015 or thereabout, the late Buhari, the original Buhari that has died. He went to America, and they asked him, they questioned him. Trump told him about, they questioned him about the killing of non-Muslims in Nigeria, Christians. And he has to defend them. He had to defend the Fulani headsmen, that what they carry, they don't carry guns, because he was directly asked a question that the Fulani headsmen, why are they carrying guns in Nigeria? He said, no, they are not carrying guns, they carry machetes in order to cut foliages for their cattle, which is lie. And he said, no, this is not about a Christian, or no. So what happened? Before he even arrived Abuja, they arranged a bomb blast in a mosque, I think in either Kanu or Kaduna, one of these areas, in order to show Trump that this is not only about killing of Christians. This is not the Islamic jihadists. These are ordinary bandits, and just attacking everybody. Nigeria is a country. They have resources. They have intelligence services that they are capable of carrying out anything, subversive actions, covert operations, in order to prove a point. That is what they are doing. Do you understand? So now, that attack that time, I think scores were killed in a mosque, in order to show to the international community that I say, okay, you are telling me that the people are attacking Christians. What of this one? Do you see how they roll? Do you see how they are using Nigeria government resources in order to commit heinous crimes, use their intelligence officers in order to cover it up? Have you forgotten the revelations made by a high-ranking intelligence officer, military intelligence officer, a Yoruba man? I used to play the clip here. Have you forgotten? He revealed many things, but the people he is revealing to Nigerians, what do they do? It's useless to them because they laugh over it. They laugh over it. Somebody will risk his life in order to reveal some secrets to a population that's supposed to use this information in order to do something. All they do, they laugh over it. All they do comedy about over it. They use it to do comedy, and there it ends. Do you understand? How I hope that man is still alive, because what he revealed is really mind-boggling, of which is what we've known. So these are the few headlines I want to share before I go into another one. There is a say Nigeria extradites fraud suspects to the US. I read it, and it's just a Yahoo, the so-called Yahoo boy, Yahoo person. He's a Yoruba man anyway. They are quick. Nigeria is very fast, quick in extraditing him. Do you see? How can a citizen be just quickly extradited to another country? Do you see that Nigeria doesn't have no single respect, no style, no dignity? There was some time ago in Libya, after the demise of Gaddafi, his only surviving son, I think, what is his name? Islam Gaddafi. Yes, he's still alive. He was captured by the Libyan government. And do you know what? Europe, international community, the ICC demanded Libya to send this Islam Gaddafi to The Hague. Do you understand? But Libya government, out of dignity, they said, no, this is our citizen. We have to deal with him because we are a sovereign state. So they refused that direct. Today he's free. I think he's running for presidential election. I think presidential candidate. I think. I'm not sure, but I think so. So, but Nigeria, once it's ordinary person, once he's not a member of the cabal, the caliphate, they will tell you, even if you take them the plenty a citizen. What about Abba Kyari? What about him? They instituted a subversive case here in Nigeria in order to delay everything. All these things they are telling you, oh, we are seizing EFCC, marked in his distance. All this, Fulani, they know how to play politics. When they are doing all these things, you think it is real. What they are showing to the public, you think it's real. They are doing it in order to protect that guy. I tell you honestly, so that he will not be extradited, because they fear that once he's extradited to the United States, he will mention names in Asorok that he works with. He will mention names, heavy names. Do you understand? But when you see what they are doing, you say, this man is a drug. It's now they know he's a drug dealer, right? All these things they are doing, they are protecting their own. That is what they are doing. That is what they are doing. But when it comes to a non-Fulani, even if it is $1 that they accuse him from the US, even it's a Nigerian judiciary that will be pushing. Let him send him there. Let him go there in America and stand trial. That is a country we are in. That is the reason why every one of us, whether you are Oduduwa, Middle Belt, even Hausa, all of us should join hands together spontaneously in order to demand or agitate or push for our freedom, various freedoms, I should say. Do you understand? Because the caliphate, they are playing with our brains. The caliphate is playing with our brains. They are playing ping pong with our brains. Do you understand? That is the reality. So I don't know whether you have anything to add on this. Please, you go on before we go into the subject of today's program. Please go on.
Mazi, I will pass this time. Let's go straight into the program, sir.
Okay, thank you. I said the topic of our today's submission or today's discussion, simply paganism. We want to discuss about paganism because this has been what they brought. You know, one thing I see is that Europeans, they will put out one thing, one word or a phrase, and it will be haunting us. We will use it to be, you know, tearing ourselves into pieces. Now, let me start from the scratch, from the grassroots. In the world of today, paganism is simply defined as a religion other than one of the main world religions, specifically a non-Christian or pre-Christian religion. Do you understand? That is in the world of today. But in reality, the term pagan is derived from Latin paganus. This was revived during the Renaissance. Do you understand the time of the Renaissance from 15th, 16th century? When Europe was, you know, reviving their brains. When they were, you know, they put reason as a standard. That everything must be subject to reason, not sentiment, not religion. The time they were waking up to the reality of today, that is called the Renaissance. Okay, I'm talking about the word paganism, pagan. The term pagan is derived from late Latin paganus, revived during the Renaissance. Itself deriving from classical Latin pagus, which originally meant region delimited by markers. Paganus had also come to mean of a relating to countryside. Listen, the real meaning. Relating to of or relating to the countryside. Country dweller. You understand? Onye village, that is Onye village. Onye shinimo here. That ima this type of you know, word like people in the city, they will tell you we are Lagosians. We are. If they see somebody from the village, you know, even the way they walk, they say no, Onye shinimo here.
Uncivilized, you know.
Yes, a kind of can I call it uncivilized? It's part of it anyway, but not really, you know. So it didn't have original meaning of this. It didn't have anything to do with religion. Let me continue. Country dweller, villager, yes, by extension, rustic, that is in here Toronchana, unlearned. You understand?
Unpolished.
Yes, in Roman military jargon, non-combatant, civilian, unskilled soldier. That is like as Nigerian soldiers used to call people, bloody civilian. Does it
I do civilian.
Yeah, bloody civilian in Nigeria today. Something the Roman military they used in thousands of years back during the Roman time. You know, the Roman military, they were calling the citizens bloody civilians. You know, a civilian. Yeah, a civilian. It didn't have anything to do with religion. It was later, now the 4th century, during the 4th century, that those Christians, as of that time, let me tell you so that people will understand, they now started referring to people that is not in their cults, their members that didn't believe what they believe, as pagans. Just the same way you call somebody, you know, Onyimohia, a villager, just like that, because now they put it into religion, that as far as they are together, as far as they don't believe, the people that didn't believe, they didn't say people that didn't believe in Christianity, no, rather in Judaism. Now that is why I say paganism is a term first used in the 4th century by early Christians for people in the Roman Empire who practiced polytheism or ethnic religions and other than Judaism. Well, I don't know whether you get something here, which means that time the so-called Christians we are calling today, they are not even, it's not a religion. What they were practicing was Judaism that time.
Yes, Mazi, because which is the argument I've tried to make, that the closest you can come to who the person they're invoking as Jesus Christ, who is Yeshua, is Judaism, because that was what is practiced, because religion, Christianity is a later thing after the Romans decided to incorporate them into what we are talking about today.
Of course.
So yes, Mazi.
So these early Christians of the 4th century, they were calling the Romans, that they are pagans. Why? That word that was used as a secular word, now they use it, now they introduce it into religion. Why? They call people, including Romans, that we are not practicing Judaism. Now the question there is, why should Christians call, mock somebody or call some people mock names because they are not practicing Judaism? He didn't say because they are not practicing Christianity. Christianity is a later thing from the Roman Empire. I'm coming to that. Now, that is why when you see people talking about Christianity, many don't even understand the history, honestly speaking. Many don't. It was the Roman Empire that took over this, can I call it Judaism? Modify it.
That's the correct word, man. It was Judaism, because that was what they were practicing.
Yes. And the Roman Empire took it because they were in power. They were in charge that time. They took over it, now modified it, and brought out what you call Christianity today. That is the truth about it.
They were not only empire. Remember, they sacked Jerusalem first, because they were the ruling world power then.
Of course.
They sacked it and took over, colonized them, and then we are marginalizing them, killing them because of their belief, which was Judaism. And just that time, the people worshiping Judaism were hiding. But even though when you see it in some of the movies or some of the write-ups, they proclaim them as Christian. They were not Christian. They were people practicing Judaism. Those were the people that the Romans were killing. The early Judaism worshippers, before Roman tried to work with them, and then that was when the conversation became Christians. We must get this right, which is what you're trying to explain, Mazi.
Of course. So that is the reality. But people will not understand. Some people will not understand. But what we are telling you here is the reality. Now, it is important to stress right from the start that until the 20th century, people did not call themselves pagans to describe the religion they practiced. The notion of paganism as it is generally understood today was created by the early Christian church. Therefore, throughout history, it was generally used as a derogatory sense. Do you understand? Now, you know, it's just like when, as I said, you see people you call now, these are bloody civilians or Ndimo here. It's a villager. You know, after it stuck, from there now, people pop up and started referring to people that didn't believe or have their belief as Ndimoya. Before you know, it became, you know, religion enters into it. Paganism should be regarded as a derogatory and assaultive word, which is carried over today to describe indigenous religions. In a way, it could be compared to the word Negro and the nigger, which today become a name of a country, nigger area, that is Nigeria, a racist construct. You know, at the time before, it was used as a yeah, it must. Okay, we must continue. I think my voice is coming back. We must continue.
Okay.
Do not forget that today is the 30th day of April in the year of our Lord 2022. I welcome each and every one of you once again to today's edition of Radio Biafra HAUSA-SERVICE. We are talking about paganism. Today, we are talking about paganism as the subject of our discussion. As I said, okay, paganism is a word used to describe people of other ethnic religions other than Judaism. Yes, they include Romans, Greeks, etc. But Europeans use the same derogatory word on Africans. That is the reality. It is like the word barbarian, which is a word derived from Greek barbaros, used among the early Greeks to describe all foreigners. If you are not a barbarian, I mean, if you are not a Greek, they call you a barbarian. It doesn't matter where you come from, as a foreigner. Even many countries today, they do it. If they see a foreigner, they give you a name. That is it. But in this case,
even in Christendom today, they have what they call born again. You know, it's almost the same thing. Yeah.
Yes. So even the indigenous people of the North Africa, including Mali, we are all called Babas or Bebes by the Arabs, and it is stuck till today. You know, they call them Babes. People different, I mean, the real indigenous population of North Africa, Morocco, Tunisia, Egypt, what do you call them? Libya, and even Mali, Algeria, and Mali. Now they call them barbarian, the real indigenous people. For you to understand that the people that are residing there today, Arabs there, they are not the indigenous population. Many of them you see even in North Africa, many of them are Arabs and Europeans that came there during the time of conquest. First, all those first, second, third Punic wars between Carthage and the Roman Empire, and also the conquest of 7th century during the time of Muhammad. He swept over through the North Africa. So people remained, because wherever they conquer, they live. People live. Otherwise, you cannot conquer. Just like what the Fulani is doing today. They want Nigeria belongs to them. That is what is in their head. Under conquest, therefore, they want to look everywhere, so that in the next 100 years, you will not know again that there are indigenous population. The Fulani will be the people ruling. In our lands, they will be owners of lands. That is how things are. People that are the North Africans you are seeing today as Arabs, they are not the real owners of the land. The owners of the land, the pre-Arab era, they call them the Berbers. The same thing, the same word. You understand? So this is why also we should be very careful about imported or created words or phrases we use to describe ourselves. Because if we continue it, it will simply stick. That is why every time I used to say, why do we call ourselves a Biafra? Now we minimize it to, we say it's Southeast. It's very bad and it's very dangerous, because a time will come, it will be what everybody knows. You understand? And it will stick there. So we have to stay, not to take anything they call us. We are the East right from time. We are people of the East, and that we have to remain. If you say, okay, they divided Nigeria into regions, but not only in the south, they have in the north, northern region, I mean, not central, not east, not west. You never hear themselves call themselves that. They use it only for allocation, for political purpose only. But when it comes to reality, they don't divide themselves. It is only in our land that, because of all these shenanigans, you see an Igbo man tell you that I'm a rivers man, I'm a delta. He don't know that rivers and delta they created yesterday, artificially. Do you see how they conquer the indigenous population? You see that? They recreate them. This is how this paganism, or the word pagan, came into existence, and it sticks till today. Therefore, the definition and description of paganism, which we are forced to believe, does not depict the real truth. How can a fellow human being degrade your culture or religion and call it that you are not worshiping God, you are a pagan? Pagan is just a word. A pagan, meaning that you are worshiping false god, according to their interpretation. On whose standard? On whose standard? The religions today, the main religions today, you see, world religions, because we have the three main religions. Judaism is not as populous, let me tell you, because Judaism, they never conquer. They never engage in conquest, and they never even want people to even practice. They never force or preach to people to practice their religion. But it is from there all these imitations came. They started imitating Christianity, Islam. These imitators now enter into conquest in order to force their religion on you. If all these things are good, will you be forced to convert to be this one or this one? That is a question we should ask ourselves. Before I continue, please, one other come in, please, before I continue.
Yes, Mazi, you have done a wonderful job explaining to us what paganism is or means. But this is what I would like to say. This paganism, which is the indigenous religion of various ethnic people all over the world, because if we go and check, we'll find out that paganism was practiced, whatever you call paganism, which is the indigenous religion of the people all over the world. And there are characteristics of it. But before I will get into paganism, we must like we established that Judaism is the closest organized religion you can think one can lay hand on. And the question is, before Judaism started, or where did it start? We all know that the origin of it is from Father Abraham, who was from a place called ancient Mesopotamia. This is important because what we are trying to establish here is even these ethnic religions they call paganism have things in common. There are characteristics and qualities you can see about them, you can establish about them, you know, like mother son worship, the moon, the stars, and all that worship. That is the sun and the mother worship deities. But there is another thing that is unique. Like you talk about Judaism, which is the oldest you can talk about when it comes to this organized religion. You know, the story always starts with there was a flood, and then something happened. So the question becomes, before Judaism, which we know the origin is from, or the establishing this religion started with Father Abraham, people practice this thing we call paganism, because according to the Christian Bible or the Torah, it says that Abraham was living in a land called Hor. Why I'm bringing this up is to lay a foundation. We must understand, or we can go and check and find out that when we mentioned that the city of Hor was in a place called ancient Mesopotamia, and that is the same Mesopotamia, because in those days when you have kingdoms, they are vast, they are not small areas. So even when you hear ancient Mesopotamia, included Nineveh, included Assyria, included Babylon, Sumeria, and Uruk. And this is where Father Abraham came out. I want to make this establishment because it's going to come to play later on in all these things we're talking about, whether paganism survived, the practice of paganism survived, is still being practiced today, and people don't even know what they're practicing. So I wanted to get this establishment before we move on, for us to know that Father Abraham came from ancient Mesopotamia, where this so-called paganism was practiced, and before we get into Judaism. Mazi, I just want to establish that.
Okay. Yeah, what you said, you are absolutely right. You know, there's something people should understand. During the prehistoric era, when we talk about prehistoric era, the time history was not kept. You know, human beings have been existing in this world for many years, hundreds of thousands of years, if not millions of years. But the history we are seeing today being revealed by archaeologists or archaeology started when human beings started developing the art of writing. Many things happened that was not written. You understand? When I'm talking about writing, yes, it's not only writing on paper. Carving things, people started writing on stones, carving things on stones. That is why you see many archaeologists used to discover many things like the Rosette Stone, different things. And from there they started understanding the human civilization as of that time. So when we talk about prehistoric era, that is the era that human being never kept history by writing. So because of what the archaeologists find out, from there they make deductions, they make interpretations on what really took place. So when we talk about this religion today, before even historical era, I mean keeping history, human beings have been practicing their religions. Now, the people that started writing first, they put down what they had, myths, myths. That is akụkọ ifo. which they had from their father, their grandfather, because they developed the art of writing first. Even mythologies they had from other places that happened in other places. Now, that is the importance of development, because when you are more developed than others, you grab things that others couldn't. Now, all those things, all those myths that they had, this and that they were telling their great grandfather told them this and that, because they are now able to write down something. Now they carry everything, put it in their own way, write it down, and that is what they wrote down is what future generations are going to read. That everything happened there. I don't know whether people understand what I'm saying. So when you see some write-ups, because sometimes you can people used to ask this, of which is a very sensible question: how human being was created, and who wrote it down? Who wrote it down? Who accounted for it?
That is the thing, man.
It's their own way of worship, religion. Now they make you yourself start calling your own brother that is a pagan. That is stupidity, arrant stupidity. Before the advent of the European and the European religion, our ancestors never called our people or any of themselves either pagans or unbelievers. Never. They never called themselves those names. Impossible. The only people that are unbelievers, that are bad people in our land, are people that broke the law of the land. Do you understand? These are the only people.
But before I lose my thought, if I can come in a little bit, please. There's something you touch on, and that is Judaism. I'm about to lose my thought. But why I pointed out Mesopotamia is, and that you said that probably our ancestors did not practice this paganism they're talking about. Maybe we are the ones that practice the true religion or the true worship. Let me use the word worship of Yahweh. Is because when you look at the ancient Mesopotamia, the story of the 5 books of Moses, he was not the only one it was not only told in the Christian Bible. Like you pointed out, the Epic of Gilgamesh, if you go there, you almost hear the same story. It's only that the names were changed. You go to the religion of that is Indian religion, is they called again Hindu. You have similar story. How it came about, the story, like somebody, Adam and Eve, the names are not the same, but you hear the same thing. How a woman and a female deity, a male deity came together, or there's a son that was not had an unusual birth, and some died or something, and all this started from Nimrod. And you're talking about Babylon. And when you talk about Babylon was in ancient Mesopotamia. Now, when you begin to look at all this, in fact, all the major religions we are practicing today have such similar stories of this mother and son deity that came to be, or the moon, worship of the moon. Now, there was another thing you pointed: the existence of the humanity or human beings. Archaeology has established that humankind have lived on Earth, on this planet Earth, for more than, if not 1 million years, or let's say 100,000 years. But the story of all this religion, even the Bible, Epic of Gilgamesh, goes back like 5,000-10,000 years ago. So the question becomes, what did the other people that lived, all the people that lived before, which is what you mentioned too, what were they? How were they worshiping God? That's number one question we must ask ourselves. Now, the archaeologists and every history or story of the creation of the world has, even from the spiritual point of view or religious point of view, has always established that civilization started from Africa. Okay, Garden of Eden you're talking about is somewhere, according to the Christian religion, Euphrates and Tigris, which is the same Mesopotamia, which is Babylon. But their story would always start with in the beginning there was a deluge, which is what water covered the surface of the earth. Because even when you go to Genesis chapter 1 verse 1, you will hear where it said in the beginning God created heaven and earth. Then something happened, it became tohu bohu. I call it two creations right there. I'm not going to bore us with this, but it's something to explore. So the question is, before these Mesopotamian religions, which is what they call paganism, because that's where all of them started, with this person called Nimrod or so. Could it be that these were people that left the main shore of Africa and started traveling towards the north, which is where you start finding Babylon, Mesopotamia, and they carried the true worship of Yahweh, and then they went over there, but get it corrupted into multiple. Because one of the factors of paganism is worship of many gods, which is polytheism. Because why I'm making this argument, it's like a query. I'm just trying to razzle my mind to understand what's going on. Our people, our own people, which is our ancient way of worship, we are one of the people, if not the only people, I don't know, but I think we are the only people that go directly to God, worship God directly. We believe in the worship of God Almighty. Forget about the lesser gods, which might be like corruption that came later. We believe in this ultimate God that is source of everything. Now, if you go forward, why I'm trying to make this argument, I hope I'm connecting it, I'm not confusing people more. You will see that the next religion that got organized, which is Judaism, started with Father Abraham in Mesopotamia. My argument is some of us migrate from where we are today to Mesopotamia, started practicing it, but somewhere along the line it got corrupted. Then Abraham was asked to move, because you find that even with Abraham, after many years, according to the Christian Bible, Yeshua has to come to make the crooked way straight. I don't know, I'm just trying I want us to start thinking, because we even till today, this real religion our ancestors practice, I'm not talking about when we got into the era of paganism, I'm talking about before the era of paganism, because as Ndibo, if the civilization of the creation of humanity or the existence...
Let me say something there. Listen, now you corrected. You say you are correcting.
Yes.
About paganism,
yes.
The era of paganism. Yes. Let me say this. My own view is this. There is nothing like an era of paganism or not era. It is foreigners that came and started calling it paganism. It is a...
I know.
You understand? So it has been there.
Yes, sir.
The only thing is that the only thing we can now say is, maybe the modus operandi, the rituals that are there. Some things could be outdated. Like some people will be saying, oh, human sacrifice. But I am telling everybody that is listening that in the olden times, both Europe, they engaged in human sacrifice. Do you understand?
Of course.
They engage, every religion engage in human sacrifice. By the way, what do people call, what of Buddhism or Hinduism? Are they called the pagans? Because they have names. Do you understand? So this paganism is just a name. People just came and see that, oh, they don't understand your way of worship. Now, because they didn't understand it, now they condemn it and say you're a pagan. Call it one name, which they explain as you are not worshiping the true God. Who tell you that? If a human sacrifice, Abraham was told to sacrifice his child. If he can be told to sacrifice his child, which means it is something that is existing as of even that time.
And by the way, Mazi, who asked him to do the sacrifice? To sacrifice his son? Who asked him to do that?
They said God. How do you know it's God?
God told him.
What of
and he did not hesitate.
Sacrificing in the traditional
they
will say God. How do
when God told him, he did not hesitate. He did not argue with God, which will establish to any right thinking person that it must have been a common practice, because he did not have a qualms about it. He went with it.
It is.
Yes.
God, if so-called God cannot ask you something that is not common or that is not practiced that time, it will be absurd and say,
or
no. How can
contrary to his laws? Or contrary to his laws?
Yes.
His established law.
Yes.
Yes.
Go on, please, go on.
So what I'm trying, there's something I'm trying to, like, I'm wrestling, it's popping up in my head. I'm trying to put it together. That's why it's like I'm all over the map. What I'm trying to say is, those who lived before even pagan, the native religions, because if we go back, like you touched it, that human beings have been living 100,000 years at least. It's been established. But when you're talking about these so-called organized religions, it's not more than 5,000 years ago. Okay, so when they came, when they started establishing themselves or organizing themselves, they started calling all these indigenous religions to be that what are practicing is paganism, because they didn't understand it. Even though that all those practices have found their way into the same people that condemn them. I am thinking, that is me, I'm just thinking, if we could go back in time, probably 70, 100 years back, 1,000 years back, where our ancestors practicing a cleaner version of this indigenous religion, I don't know. It's just something I'm trying to understand, because Abraham, his father was a priest, a high priest, according to the story of the Bible. But something made God to tell him to leave his house, abandon everything, and go to a place he's going to establish for him. And if you follow that story, God began to re-educate him on the right way to worship. And it was in that process, when he was asked to sacrifice his son, he didn't hesitate. The argument we made a few seconds ago, because most likely it was a common practice, which is from the Mesopotamia, which is the island of all he came from. But because God is trying to return him back to the cleaner version of the way of worshiping him, God never was the one that asked them to sacrifice human beings. But because of human beings in their creativity being evil, they introduced the sacrifice of human beings and stuff like that. God told him, no, I have made a ram for my sacrifice. Because it's from that time that you start hearing even people of Judaism and some Christians making argument that human sacrifice was a bad thing. Was God trying to reroute him to a cleaner way of worshiping him, using animals and other things instead of human beings? I don't know. That's what I'm, kind of trying to reason. And if you can help me out here, I don't know, Mazi. I don't know.
I understand.
That's what I'm...
Let me tell listeners, people that are hearing our voice today, when we ask all these questions that like what happened before, even the pre-Judaism era, pre-Abrahamic era, some people might be saying inside their mind, oh no, why are you going? How can you? Don't ask all those questions. You don't know. So why are you asking? Why are you going there? You don't know. But let me tell you, to an enlightened mind, you can use anything as a starting point in order to stimulate your brains to make researches. That is what the Renaissance, European Renaissance, has also brought to Europeans, and that is why they were able to conquer the world. The earliest known human burial in the Middle East was 100,000 years before Christ, 100,000 years even before.
And the argument I'm making, man, that's one of the arguments I'm making.
Yeah. So all these questions we are asking, we want people's brains to be stimulated, even into action, because we are human beings. We shouldn't be believing. The difference between us and the Europeans is they make researches, they ask these questions. There is this, I don't know whether you know about this, the Shroud of Turin. The Shroud of Turin.
Of course. The Shroud of Turin, even they did a research on it to prove whether it was human blood or so.
To know whether it was authentic.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
I'm a student of things like that. Them condemning what they had that be working for them without even consulting with them or working with them. So they did, even when it was happening, I believe they were like, forget about this people, it's not going to happen. Like, what are they talking about? But unknowingly to them, these people use them, which is what the Fulanis are trying to do today. You mentioned the divide and rule. They began to latch on the bad people or the bad apples that were in the society, began to empower them, encourage them, and began to swear them, and then convert them Christianity, and then use them to implode the society and conquer them with the word modern religion, which is Christianity, Muslim, or whatever you might call it. So that is one of the, because I asked on one of our previous sessions, how come that our ancestors could not see it coming? Because they were not people of violence, because they never believed that this could happen, because they themselves, they themselves never went anywhere trying to conquer anybody because of their beliefs. They have so much regard and respect for every other person's beliefs. Even if you come within our own society, even if you come in, even though you might be from Olo, this person from Owerri, you can see slight variations of even dialect and culture. Even rivers, where water. Even though we are one people, we are one family, but we accommodated that because we allowed everybody to express their own potential, their own way, which was the mosaic of what makes us the great people we are. But these people came in, instead of that being one of our strengths, they use it to divide and overwhelm us. I don't know if I'm making sense, man.
You are absolutely making sense. I don't know why my system continues wobbling. I'm telling you. We repeat and we come back, it's okay. Now, as what we are saying, because what I will do, I will replay this program. I will replay it.
Okay.
So what we are saying is this.
Yes.
When do you see, as I said, look at now, we are communicating with English so that people will understand.
Yes.
Now, do you see, it's part of conquest. Do you understand that? Because you will say, no, if you speak in local dialect, other people will not understand. Because our local dialect, we didn't conquer anybody, we didn't impose it on anybody. So that is why our language, it remains only intact for only us, the locals. But the people, like English, they fought wars to conquer, to impose the language on us. That is the same way when they come, they use different things. Oh, you are pagans, in order to demonize your own culture, your religion, our religion, and you pick it up. Oh, the pagan. That is nonsense, absolutely nonsense. I will tell you now. Well, you that is talking about a pagan, this and that, but we are. According to the modern definition of paganism, even we in this world, we are wrapped up in paganism. You understand? Let me say it like that, because the names of the days we are using is from the names of the gods. I will tell you,
gods of the Romans,
Roman gods and Greek gods. The names of months we are using today,
even the months,
I will define it. I will tell you. Yes. So that when you talk about paganism, know that the way you think of paganism is that is after everything. You are making a living out of it. So let us be reasonable in what we are doing, because when you talk about you see these people, oh, the Illuminati, oh, the Freemason, this and that, and you are afraid. These are people that understands the secret, the mystery, the secret knowledge of this universe, and that is what they are using in order to control everybody. That is it. But something you don't know, you think that it is so bad. No, these are the people that know some secrets, and Mazi, some of all those secrets is what we are talking, barring here on Radio Biafra, so that our brains will be open. It should never be closed. Even, let me tell you, before you come in, I'm talking about language. Do you know that the barbarians in North Africa, in Arab countries, when Arab conquered them in North Africa, conquered the indigenous people, and they banned the use of the speaking of their own language. That is why today the North Africans, you see, they start speaking, the whole indigenous people, they start speaking Arabic. When those people that we are hiding speaking their local babas, they die. Others say there is no need. The other generation will continue speaking Arab instead of going through inconveniences, because if they they are highly ferocious and brutal. They are just like the Fulani. You understand?
Yes.
If they catch you speaking your local language, they will kill you. That is why you have 22 countries in Arab today. Arab was just a very little tribe in the desert, but they started expanding because they are conquerors. They are conquering set of people. They are highly brutal. They don't pity, and today they are enjoying the fruits of their brutality because it has advantage. The same thing with the white people. They are brutal. They are brutal. They are ferocious in fighting for any goal, anything. That is why I am telling all and sundry Biafrans, we should be ferocious. This soft mind we have is doing us no good. I'm telling you. Let me tell you, if Fulani they succeed in doing what they are doing today, killing, causing confusion, mayhem, they have one objective: to take over the indigenous people's land and be in control of it. If they succeed in this generation, in the next 100, 200 years, people that time will not even know that such things happened. This time, they will not know that they were what they are that time. Maybe Fufude will be the national language. Maybe everybody will now, be Nakwishinala. The Fulani will be in the altar, in mosques, commanding. They will be the emirs in our land. I'm talking about 100, 200 years. And people that time will not understand that there was a time before they can impose this. They kill the people. They conquer, they split a lot of blood, cause mayhem. But that time you will see the indigenous people that are under them now calling them, respecting them, that they are very good people. Do you see how things work? That is why, brutality is allowed for your goal. It is allowed. You must be ferocious. If not for maybe one thing or the other, even our language would have been taken away from us. Let us stop calling ourselves pagans or hidden or Gentiles or this and that. That is rubbish. It's what the Europeans use in order to divide us. That is one thing. Now, let me go into telling you, I don't know whether you want to say something. You were saying something before I cut you. I don't know.
Yeah, what I was trying to say is about when they use the word pagan, people don't understand, and we have some of these pagan, we mentioned the names of the week, how people are practicing it without even knowing what they're doing or squarely involved in it or part of it, and the names of the weeks. A typical example, I argued with somebody recently, is this Easter thing. I asked him, I said, okay, because the person was asking me, do I celebrate Easter? I said, no. I even stopped before I moved away from Christianity. I said, because I found out, what is Easter? Easter is never found in the Bible. It was a pagan festival for the spring, for the goddess of spring. I think it's a Greek goddess called Astore, So,
of course.
Yeah, because they were trying to emulate the Jewish festival of Passover. Now, what I want to bring out, I asked the person, I said, let me ask you a question. This Easter, because they say, it's the resurrection of Christ. I said, okay, nobody, according to the Bible, if you go and check the account, he was in the tomb for 3 days. So if he was in the tomb for three days, he couldn't have died on a Friday and resurrected on Sunday. That does not give you 3 days account. But let's leave it alone. I said, what I brought out to the individual, I said, how do you know how the day of Easter are set up? The Sundays where you worship, you celebrate your Easter. Can you tell me how the day is fixed, or that particular Sunday is fixed? He looked at me, Paul. I said, okay, let me make it easy for you. I said, it's done through the charting of the moon. We're talking about that moon worship. I said, he said, what do you mean? I said, because if your birthday is on the 16th of a year, it doesn't necessarily have to fall in on a Sunday. The day each year will vary. The day will fall will vary. But what they do, they side the moon to establish for you the particular Sunday you will celebrate your Easter each year. So why are they messing with the moon? Because they're giving reverence or credence to the moon. And yet they are the same people that will come and say they condemned the pagan worshippers because they were worshipping the moon or invoking the moon.
Just like break it down when you finish.
Yes,
I'll break it down to them.
Go ahead, Mazi, because I bring out this stuff sometimes and yes, but you have a way of packaging it right. Go ahead and package it
down. When our people perish because of lack of knowledge.
Yes, Mazi.
Seek ye knowledge. That is one thing they have turned us into, to start seeking for only money, wealth, whereas knowledge is escaping us. It is high time. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came, made us to start seeking for knowledge, because that is the key. The key to this world is wisdom, knowledge. People that are controlling this world is people that has wisdom and knowledge. If you are looking for only money, once you control wisdom and knowledge, you have everything at your disposal. That is why even King Solomon, he asked only for knowledge, for wisdom, nothing more. And he became very rich, very wealthy, because wealth is part of the product of wisdom. But when you are looking for only money, wisdom will elude you. We start scavenging all over the world.
You lose the wealth.
That is it. So now let me come. When we talk about paganism, and you say what is he Pharisee? That is one thing. At what standard are you judging? Okay, you are judging through the standard, the Christian standard, the European standard that brought Christianity. Now they make blanket condemnation. But let me tell you, as I said before, you are eating, drinking, receiving money and paying money under the so-called paganism. January, you know what it means? It is named after Roman god called Janus. That is January you are seeing. He was also the god of the god of doors, Mepozo. That is why they put January as the first
month. Right on, Mazi. You're blowing my mind.
Because before March was the first year of the first month of the year. The Roman calendar has 10 months. I will let you understand that. Now you see January. Now February is named after an ancient Roman festival of purification called February. Do you understand? February, we are in the month of February. You didn't know how it come by. We are pricking your mind, your brain, in order to go back to research. Because when you make researches, you will start seeing things with another type of view, not the way other gullibles and ignorance are looking at things. And you will be above any religious animosity. I'm telling you honestly, you will grow above religious animosity. You can absorb good things that will help you in spirituality in every religion. I'm telling you.
Well said, Mazi.
Every religion. I say every religion you see, you can absorb good thing. That is the product of enlighten the mindset. Now March is named after Mars, M-A-R-S, the Roman god of war, and that is what they named also all these other planets. They name it Mars. Is a Roman god of war in the month of March. You don't know. This person is a pagan. But we are in the world of paganism according to your definition. Don't you understand that? What are you going to change the month and say no? I'm no more using the month. Who are you? Okay, now let us come to April. April, there are some mystery surrounding April. Do you understand? That April is one name, a name that is rooted in the Latin Aprilis, which is derived from Latin aprere, meaning to open, which could be a reference to opening or blossoming of flowers and trees. That is one, yes, springtime. That is one theory. Another theory,
the beginning of life.
Yes,
beginning of life.
Yes. Another theory holds that since months are often named for gods and goddesses, and since Aprilis is derived from the Greek Aphrodite, it is possible the month was named for the Greek goddess of love, the goddess that the Romans called Venus. Even now, April is a popular name. You understand? And another theory is like around the 5th century, the Anglo-Saxons referred to April as Ostermonat or Ostremonat, a reference to the goddess Ostra, whose feast was celebrated during the month. That is the feast of Easter, what they call Easter today.
Yes, sir.
That is one of the theories concerning this April. So when you are talking of paganism, I don't know what paganism in that definition. Let me tell you. May entered English in the 1050s, that is 11th century. It developed from the Old English Maius, borrowed directly from the Latin Maius, short for Maius Mensis. That is Maia's month. Maia is a Greek goddess, the companion of Artemis, goddess of the hunt. Are you understanding? That is May. I think we are in April now. That is May. Yes. We are entering. But you will see our look. You will refer our very good religion, our very good way of life, our traditional religion. Though people are corrupting it now, which is normal, but we put it at the pure state it's supposed to be. And
yes, that's what we were saying.
You will be calling it this is a pagan. Who are you? Who are you? Where did you hear that word pagan? From where? Before the advent of the Europeans in our land, our people never mentioned or called anybody pagan in our land. All that our people, our ancestors used to fight against is Ndi Nemerala, people that are doing bad things against the land. Because when you commit a crime as of our religion, when you commit a crime against any person, it is not only that person you committed the crime against, it is against the land. That is why the land must be purified. And there are rituals.
It's even in the Bible, Mazi. It's even in the Bible. When God asks, according to the Bible, when God sends Samuel to go and tell Saul to go to the people of Amalekite and kill them, because what was their reason? Kill everything, even the ants, everything that was a living thing in the land of Amalekite. What was their crime? Their crime, according to the Bible, was when the Israelites left Egypt and they were going to the promised land, the then king refused them to pass through his cities. It was the king that refused, but it took about 400 years before God sent that message to go and cleanse the land. The people that were cleansed at that time were not the ones that committed atrocities. The land did not do anything. The ants did not do anything. The animal did nothing. But because when we sin, it affects every living thing, even the land we step on, because the land, according to our own custom, is a living entity.
Of course.
They all will suffer. They will all bear witnesses against us.
But do you know?
Right, go ahead, man.
Do you know the worst thing that has happened to us? This European version of Christianity, they were admitting the bad people in our land, telling them that no, that all things have passed away. That is where our land started being corrupted, because the things surprised the elders, the custodians of the land. How can these people that are people that are shifting the land borders, people that are lying, now they are the people that are carrying Bibles, start preaching to them that look, they are their sins are forgiven. Come, You have to. So this is, it brought frustration to our ancestors. They say, what is all this? Do you understand? So normally every sin or crime should be punished. As a country, a crime that is what is killing Nigeria, because people do things with impunity, and it continues.
Mazi, do you think that the blood of the innocent that were shedded during the civil war, do you think that the blood of the innocent children they were smashed on their head, their pregnant women that the belly were opened up and the fetus was brought out and smashed on the wall, dashed on the wall, do you think they have not been crying for Chukwuokike for vengeance? Do you think so? So when people are asking what is happening to Nigeria, I'm listening to some of these crazy politicians. Let them go back to the history. They can erase the history all they want, but they cannot erase it from the eye or from the ear of Chukwuokike. These bloods have been crying for vengeance. According to the Christian Bible, if the blood of Abel only could cause God to move, think about the blood of these innocent people. They did nothing just because they came from a particular ethnic group. And you cleanse them and you think you can sweep under the rug and roll on. That is where God is God. And he said, I am the God that remember the sins of the Amalekites at the fullness of time. Nigeria think they have arrived. They thought they have pushed everything under the rug, but God has already to tell them, no, I am going to avenge for the blood of my children that you wasted without any apology, without any remorse. I have reason to avenge for them. Unfortunately, some innocent people are going to go down. But I thank God for Mazi, who has risen up to tell us so that we can put a boundary around us, so that when the fire is coming, we will be saved. That's how I'm going to qualify this, Mazi.
Of course. So let me continue. I stopped at May. For you to understand, though, pagan, in the pagan, we are in a world controlled by the pagan according to your definition. The months we are in, the months we are calling, the months, the days is the same. Pagan, it comes from paganism.
Festival.
Yeah.
The festival.
June now ultimately comes from the Latin Inus or Juno. Referring to the Roman goddess known as the Queen of Heaven. Do you understand? Eunice.
That is,
because
Queen of Heaven.
This thing, letter J was discovered only of recent, from 16th century. Otherwise, it was just the same thing they call Jesus. Now they put it J, it becomes Jesus. Yeah. So,
Spanish Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Eunice, Juno, was important and powerful ancient Roman deity who became the protector of Rome, wife of Jupiter, queen of gods, and the goddess of marriage, childbirth, and fertility. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing us? The month of July used to be called Quintilis, the Roman word for fifth, as it was the fifth month of the Roman year, because the month of March used to be the first month of the Roman calendar. January and February were added to the end of the year by one king, Numa Pompilius, around the 700 BCE. The name Quintilis was later changed to July by the ruler of Roman world, Julius Caesar, after his family name Julius. We read about Julius Caesar. So August is name of somebody. August is named to honor Roman emperor and grandnephew of Julius Caesar, Augustus Caesar, 63 BC to AD 14. He was the king of the Roman emperor that was there when Christ was born. September is the name that comes from the Roman word for seventh, that is Septimus, as it was the seventh month of the Roman year. Remember, the Roman year before was only made up of only 10 months. It started from March. January and February was added later on. Do you understand? But these people that made the Roman year, the Romans that made their year 10 months. Remember, before that time, Africa have, the civilization in Africa, they have calculated 365 days to make up 1 year. Accurate.
Yes, Mazi.
You understand? But Chineke, when I heard your things,
yeah, we have been robbed. Though. We have been robbed.
We have been robbed.
We have been robbed heavily because look at it. Those who maintain their own culture still have their own calendar. You talk about the Asians. They don't have the same New Year with us.
Of course,
they don't start their New Year with us.
Yes.
You talk about the Jewish people. They have Jewish calendar. We were the ones that have been robbed. They came in and desecrated Africa, took everything we had, threw it away. Our ancestors had their days. They were able to chart the solar system with bare eyes, naked eyes. Made accurate calculation, including the Mayan civilization, of 365 days accurately. And these are people who will look down. They want us to look down on today and say they knew nothing. They are going to hell. We are talking about hundreds and hundreds of years back.
Wanda, do you know that I think that the reason why Africa in general is behind this, we neglected our ancestral developed civilization, honestly speaking.
Yes. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about.
We did auto turnaround. We stopped our civilization and demonized it and said that they don't know nothing, we don't know nothing, and the land became angry.
And then we lost whatever oral history or information or knowledge that was passed on to us. We lost them because as the people that had them were dying off, and nobody was interested in cataloging them or putting them in documenting them, we were losing them. And that's what happened. It came to a time, I believe there has to be a gap period where all those things completely lost. And then, of course, those who can call us made sure that they eradicated everything and then introduced their own way of life, which is what we're trying to learn, and we can't. That's why we're in disarray.
So let's move on quickly.
You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yes, Mazi, go ahead.
October, as we know, is a Roman word for 8. That is octavus, 8. November 9th, that is novem. They're from Latin root novem, meaning 9. Now December, that one everybody, deceni, we even use it in English. The decade. Deceni, December, from the Latin root to decem, which means 10. The last year of the month for the Romans was December. That is the 10th month. The 10th month, and it was inculcated because they were ruling the world. So everything they do is right. They have to force it to remain. The same way we are seeing the people that are more developed than us. Anything they do is right. They're always right. They will use their media to cover, to make sure to push their lies into our skulls that is right. They are right in whatever they are doing. That is why we should look for development. This mad rush for wealth, it will not lead us anywhere. You will get that wealth, after a few years you die. You live 100 years or less, you die. No knowledge.
And what the legacy?
No legacy.
What legacy do we leave behind?
What do you leave behind? That is the problem. That is the main fact. Do you understand?
What do we leave behind for others to build up? It's not how many years we live on this earth. It's not how many years we live on the earth. It's what are we leaving behind for others to build up?
Exactly.
Continuity. That's what we're talking about. That's what brought the Western civilization where they are. Our own, we raised everything out of ignorance and out of subjugation, and look at where we are. We must find our way back, Mazi. And when Mazi, before we started this, since we agreed that we're going to treat this topic, Mazi, even the prayer of Mazi you pray today, our Hamadike, it carried a lot of meaning to me, Mazi. If you pay attention to that prayer points that you played today, it is potent, it's powerful, it says a straight, shocking way, messages. If anybody who wants to critically listen to them, they are not ordinary. Mazi has been saying that the restoration of Biafra is the last miracle. That thing is heavy word. That thing is potent. People may never understand it. A lot of us may not understand what he's saying, because even this religion we are talking about, because when you restore Biafra, we may, by his grace, be able to, as we are asking these questions spiritually and otherwise, be able to go back to the clean way of worshiping Yahweh and then begin to affect the world. Is this part of what the crusade or the mission this young man is on? I don't know. I ask myself that question. Because when you listen to his utterances, they are not mere words. They are not. If you really want to tune yourself into the spiritual realm, they are not mere words. I don't think Mazi are just saying them, or we are just saying them. He was being inspired. He was being moved to say them. That is why they are so powerful, and then you see them coming to fruition. So this journey we are in, and that is why we have so much resistance, because the light is about to burst out of darkness, and you think darkness is going to allow it to be. And this should be a motivating tool or argument for each and every one of us to forge ahead and make sure that this light comes through. Just like when a woman wants to give birth, as a woman I can testify to that, at the critical time the head of the baby is about to crown is the most painful time of childbirth. I think that is what we are going through, Mazi. Right on.
Let me just rush on before we conclude.
Yes, sir.
When we talk about our traditional way of worship, which we call Omenala, because that is the name we have for it.
Yes,
also sir. Traditional, like the Japanese, they have Shinto. They call it name Shinto. So people don't call them pagans. They have Buddhism. The Indians, they have Hindu. People don't know that Hindu is the first known recorded religion, the oldest. Hinduism is the oldest recorded world religion. So when we talk about our own religion, people will say no, and we are killing people, and they kill twins. All this rubbish peddled. But if that's the case anyway, and when you talk about Christianity, when you point out to them that look, they burn people at stakes, Christians, in the name of Christianity. They killed the people. They committed atrocities all over the world in the name of Christianity. They will tell you, no, it's not the founder. But I'm asking, the people you are saying they killed the twins, is it the founder of our traditional religion? Is it the way it was founded? Every religion could be corrupted one way or the other. Our job should have been continuity. In order to, anywhere we see wrong, we see that it doesn't match with the time. Now we correct it. There was a time in this world when slavery is a kind of allowed. It is in the Bible.
It was a thriving business. It was a good thriving business.
It is because of human development that the human being use their brain to think and say, no, we are equal. These people, they are human beings like us. We shouldn't be doing this. But religions also, they adopted it. Because it is the time. It is what I want to bring out is, but
Mazi, even current where we are now, especially in America here, have they not adopted gayism into the religion, into Christian religion? Now, how about that?
Okay.
Even when they say in the Bible that God hates them, they're going straight to hell. Now it's something that's being preached. In fact, I go about, when I try, you will see signs that gays are welcome. I mean, hey, I don't have a problem.
Now
we are talking about
your fundamental human rights.
Yes.
They fix it, it's there. Now, before you know it, in the next few years or few decades, even the Bible, they will write new versions that now
they're already changing it. Yes, it's already changing it, because now when you go to start the newer Bibles, what you see that marriage is between two people. They don't say male and female anymore. They are beginning to gradually remove it.
That is,
yes.
Let me tell you, human being, we are in control of this world. Is human being. That is what we should understand. It is not one big spirit or one small spirit. No.
So the question, did God lie?
Yeah.
Did he lie?
We human beings that are in control. That is why human beings change things, have the capability to change things. That is it. But they brought all these things to us, pull us down by telling us that you cannot change. It is the will of God. It is how God say it. Oh yeah. Where did that God, where did you see him speaking? We need to be asking questions, please.
It's only when it comes to the colonizer that they will tell you it is the will of God,
yes.
Which is one of the tools they are using to hold this movement down. You talk to our sisters and brothers that are into this religion, they said, oh, you can't do anything, let us pray. Meanwhile, mankind is changing our future, charting our past, whether we like it or not.
That is ignorance.
We must rise up and take our future into our own hands. We must. It's not good enough to say I'm praying for Mazi. It's not good enough to say I'm praying for the station of Biafra. We must collectively, through our collective efforts, whether it's financially or any little thing we can do, rise up and take the future of Biafra into our hands, so that we can be like every other civilized society. Other than that, God cannot come down from heaven to do it for us. Mazi, I must say this. I'm not trying to take you. Go ahead and finish your thought.
Of course. Now, let me come to days. Monday, everybody knows it. It's related to the moon. Latin name for moon is Luna. And in French, today, Monday is still called lundi. Lundi. That is the day of the moon. French is calling it lundi. You understand? Tuesday, Mars is a god of war, and so is not a god, Tyr or Tyr, T-I-R. It is Tyr who has given his name to Tuesday, the god of war. That is Tuesday. You that is calling your own people, calling the good people with the best religion, you are calling them pagans.
Is a bad thing.
Wednesday is Odin, can be compared to Roman god Mercury. You understand? Mercury. So in the Nordic tradition, Odin, also known as Woden, gave his name to Wednesday. Mercury. Like in French, they call it Mercredi. Do you see it? Mercredi, from Mercury, the Roman god, Roman god Mercury. That is it. Thursday is reminiscent to Jupiter, as they both deal with lightning and thunder. Thursday. So the day of the week becomes Thursday. You understand? Thor is, in Nordic mythology, Sif's husband and was the god of thunder. Do you understand?
Yes.
Thor. So that is it. The name Thor is related to the word thunder. Do you see it? The god of thunder. They call it Thursday.
Which is Kamalo.
Yes.
Which is Kamalo in our own language.
Kamalo, that is it. But when you call it in our language, I think do you see how they have humiliated us? To hate our own, start fighting against our thing, our pure system. Is very, very annoying, honestly. Now, Friday, Venus is the goddess of love, and so is Frigg, and maybe also Freya, as they have originally been the same goddess. Frigg gave the name to Friday, that is Frigg. Do you understand? Okay, Saturday, most inexplicable among the old Norse names is Lugadag. Log mean bath or hot water, and dag means day. So you can translate the Nordic word for Saturday into the day of the hot water or bathing bag. Saturday was also known as Sunnot, the night before Sunday, and can be recognized in some parts of Germany. Often use words for Saturdays, Sonnabend. So in Latin, the day was named after Saturn, that is Saturn, and was recognized it, and we can recognize it in English language, Saturday, the day of Saturn. Do you understand? Saturday. Now Sunday is the day of the sun. So when you talk about oh, these are pagan, do you see that you are eating and drinking paganism? You are drinking and eating paganism. Honestly, that is it. At the end of the month, you say they never pay me. Which month is that? It's January, but is a pagan god. Why don't you say no? I will not accept. January is the name of the Roman god Janus, the god of the doors, open doors. You know, so you see that we are suffering from ignorance, and ignorance is the highest disease. It is not poverty, no. Ignorance once we break through and have this renaissance, the knowledge, what the Europeans fought for, the Europeans developed this knowledge at the early 14th, 15th century, the era of enlightenment, renaissance. It wasn't easy for them. They fought among themselves. They killed themselves because there were people that maintained the old order of, because they were eating and feeding from the misery of the people with belief system. Now belief, the God say this and that. People started asking questions. It led to wars in Europe for decades and centuries, I'm telling you. So what we are doing here, it is something that is historic. We are trying to bring up open the facts, realities to our people, so that you ask questions, so that you reason. We are trying to stimulate that brain, that side of your brain you think you don't need, reasoning. Do not allow people to deceive you. Say no, don't question God when you are asking questions. It is life from the pit of hell. We are made, we human beings are made in order to ask questions, to research and recreate things to our favor. Do you understand? Wanda, please, if you have anything you say, so that I open the lines.
Mazi, I said it all. We take it. We continue next week, so that I don't want us to overwhelm our audience, so that they have questions to ask. We can, develop it from there. But we continue, because I think we may run this into segments to bring it into full, give it a good bite. Yes, Mazi.
Of course. So we will go. We'll go on few minutes break, so that when we come back, we open our lines, so that people will talk and air their views concerning the issue discussed. Please don't go away.
Announcement. Here comes a great gathering of the people from the West African region. Ambazonia, Biafra, Oduduwa, living across the entire globe, the entire world. Coming from different parts of all the continents of the world to Brussels, Belgium, to march in great mass and in great multitude. All hail Biafra. Long live Ambazonia. Freedom for Oduduwa Republic. United we stand and shall never fall. With one vision and joint strength, the land of Belgium will feel the heat of this particular set of people from West Africa in 1 million freedom march in Brussels, Belgium. On the 14th and 15th of June 2022 at the European Union headquarters in Brussels. Together we shall march in strength and in valor, without fear nor weakness, the march of freedom, for total freedom, by the freedom fighters. We shall come to face the reality of truth about the fact that one of the steps to freedom is to restore our government the way our ancestors made it, and not the way our colonial masters decided it to be. With this move, we shall let the world know from the land of Brussels, Belgium, that there must be freedom for the people of Ambazonia, the people of Biafra, and the people of Oduduwa. The march by the Abo people, Ambazonia, Biafra, and Oduduwa. As an Ambazonian, as a Biafran, as an Oduduwa, who truly needs freedom for your sake and for the sake of your future generations, you must defy all odds. Make your way to the land of Brussels from any part of the world. Coming to Brussels, Belgium, to march together with the indigenous people of your land, your brothers, your sisters, your fathers, your mothers, and your entire people, to send a unified message to the world that all we need is true freedom and total independence. If there is no struggle, there will be no freedom. This information is coming to you from the office of all state media worldwide. under the leadership of IPOB led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
Welcome back. This is Radio Biafra HAUSA-SERVICE coming to you through Radio Biafra London. Today is Saturday, the 30th day of April 2022. I am here with Nwada Marian T. Heather discussing on religious issues, and the topic of our today's discussion is paganism. Our lines are now open, and our direct line is as usual +1 213 328 6224. I repeat, +1 213 328 6224. Our WhatsApp and Signal line is +61 405 142 547. I repeat, +61 405 142 547. Please, people that are on our Radio Biafra page on Facebook, I crave your indulgence to pardon because of the sound. The sound is not clear, but there is an improvement. Because yesterday or day before yesterday, I couldn't get any sound at all. Now there is sound, but there is background noise or static noise. I will improve so that it will be okay, because we need to preach this gospel. And for your information, because I have people that are already waiting, please, if you have the knowledge, or you are a graphic designer, electronic graphic designer, please inbox me. We need your service from time to time. Please inbox me so that we shall talk about it. You know, we have people of every field in IPOB, and I'm announcing it on air. If you are a graphic designer or you know about graphic design, please inbox me. Just write me, send me message that yes, I am so person. I write you because of this. Inbox me. I will go to our lines right now because people want to talk. You know, when with this religious issue, people thought that it's a no-go area. There is no no-go area in this restoration effort. We need to sanitize our brains and remove ignorance, so that when we enter our Biafra, our nation, oh my goodness me, it will be the real paradise, the kingdom of God in this planet Earth. Caller on WhatsApp, you are the first caller. Please make it worthwhile. Start by giving us your name, where you're calling from, and make your views. Caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Mazi.
There, well, welcome to the program.
My name is Mazi Chinedu. I am calling from the Republic of Ireland. Mazi, sincerely speaking, all the when I was hearing all the whole issues today, I was wishing how I wish all my family members, everybody's listening to this, because I'm not in a insulting way, but in a kind of, as in, I will be corrupted. Because last time I called, I made mention of that in terms of our own language, that is a Chukwukuku, the highest God. But in terms of one day, it was created gods. Eke, China, Eke, China, Eke. But we all do ignore all those things. But our language has already told us that. And that we are created in his own image and likeness. So I create somebody in his own image and likeness. If those people are not directly from him, directly from his God. So that is really I want to talk, because one mother she was saying that some traditions, some religions, that they are that man was created by two gods. The same way our own religion, not that we are ignoring it. I never know it. But nevertheless, we are not doubting that we have to they create for everything. But in terms of man, in terms of man, man, it was done by two gods, which is Eke, which everybody knows in Igbo language. Eke is a female god. Okay, when you mention oh yeah, she's always regarded as goddess, number one in everything we are doing. So man, that is the area I want to touch, and I want to also last week I want to say it. Last week I don't know. I was too work last week. I couldn't listen to the radio Biafra last week Saturday. So I don't know, but I've been searching for the program through the internet and everything, but I couldn't find it last week Saturday. I don't know whether if you uploaded it on the YouTube and Facebook or something like that. Please, I want to listen to last week Saturday meeting, please.
Just after you inbox me, please. After you inbox me, so that we check it.
Okay. That's my own contribution. That's my own contribution.
Thank you very much. There we go. Caller on signal. Can you hear me? Welcome to the program. Caller on signal.
Yes, Mazi Jonathan, I can hear you. Good evening from here.
There we go. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for picking my call, and my Wada Marian Bechuko bless you for coming out every Saturday to educate us in this area that our enemies doesn't want us to touch. But today, we are fearless before our enemies. We go there. Those things you ask us not to do is what we do. And today, our eyes has been opened, so that anything we are doing now, we do it with our brain, being open, not being gullible in all this nonsense they use to deceive our people. Mazi, before I proceed, I want to say, may Chukwu Kabiama bless my leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, protect him from every danger, from every hands of the evil ones and from all evil doers. Most especially, destroy his enemy before they come close to him, and grant him unconditional release in no distant time. This is my prayer, and so shall it be in the name of Chukwu Kabiama. Mazi, please, I want to use this opportunity to make this announcement. Fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom, IPOB Osra family lanes is inviting us tomorrow, which is on 1st of May. Please, we are calling every lovers of freedoms, our brothers from Banzonia and Oduduwa sisters also to join us tomorrow, 1st of May, to our march here in Lanes. Please, we know those of us that have been coming to this protest, we know how it goes, and we are asking, please, the time is 8 a.m. in the morning. Those of us coming from afar, please try to leave early, and we know that this tomorrow also is public holidays here in Austria. We should try as much as possible to arrive in time so that we can be able to join the line and march. And we know it has been televised. We are continuing to let the Austrian government know that our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still in the hands of the enemy and they must release him. Please, and also all the zonal coordinators, please make sure that as you are coming tomorrow, come with your regalias and your flags. Please don't forget to come along with it, because flag and our charge on more. When the enemy see our flag, they run to their shelter. Mazi, please, I just want to contribute a little in what we are saying tonight. Mazi, do you know that these people did something to the extent that my senior brother, I can remember when I was a little boy, we are calling him this name called the Dede. You know, in our law, we used to call the senior brother Dede. A time comes, he said nobody should call him dead anymore because he was living in Ontario those days. He just came back, arrived home and said nobody should call him dead again. We said why? He said we should call him brother. You know, all of us begin to the extent that even when you call him dead, he will pick up again when we even flog you. So don't call me dead, call me brother. And this thing has entered our mouth today. We are still calling him brother.
Why? Because he said that there is evil.
Even today, he never told us the reason why he said we should stop calling him dead. Believe me, just because that time he was the head of Block Rosary. And whether he's from Block Rosary, he had that name, brother. And he decided that we shouldn't call him that anymore. We should be calling him brother. It is horrible. And why we are saying this is that our people should know how these people have brainwashed us. We abandon our own, trying to copy something that is not our own. This radio, whether our enemies like it or not, that place you said we should not go, we must go there, because this is helping our people to know that we have fallen astray and we must come back where we belong, Mazi. Do you know here in Austria, they called January, February. They called February. Sorry, they called January, January. They called February, February. They called March, Miet. They called April. They called
February, as I said, is the ancient Roman festival of purification. That is February. That's it.
The name that you were calling before is what Austrian people called. I mean, thank you for this radio. May God bless you, Mazi. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you.
There were. Let me say this. What we are doing or what we are speaking is not out of defiance. No. Because this is highly important for us. We don't care whose ass is broken. We don't care what happened. This is very important for us in this struggle, because we need to deliver ourselves from this mental cage they put us into, in order to continue demonizing anything that is ours. I'm telling you honestly. Caller on WhatsApp, welcome to the program. Please hold on, let me try to pick call on direct line first. No, it's gone. The call drop. Caller on WhatsApp, Mazi, go on please. Caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
There, well, welcome to the program.
Mazi Nathan, there, and our sister, I've forgotten your name. God bless you too.
Marian, God bless you.
I think before I go into what I have this evening, I want to just pray for our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. May Almighty God be with our leader every day, 24 hours. May God never allow the enemy to starve him, to pressure him, or to pressure him to change his mind. And may God Almighty bring him out sooner than later, for him to finish the work he has given to him, because this assignment must be fulfilled. I ask all this through Christ Jesus our Lord. Amen. Biafra all over the world. What I want to contribute this topic, Mazi Jonathan, when you are saying this thing about religion, is hitting my heart, because this thing called religion is slavery. It have damaged so many things in our society, in our people. I think I have one friend here, 50-something years. I think we are the same age. Anytime he come to my house, if you talk of Biafra, because he is one of this Pentecostal church from Nigeria, and when he came here, he continued. He will always tell me that born again is not fighting for freedom, that God will fight for everything. That when he pray, if we want to Biafra to come, we have to pray that God is the one to decide, not to by God and by fight.
Pause there, please pause there. Let me talk to people. Let me say this to people. Do you see, just like what you said, many other people are the same. Do you see the reason why we need to be hitting one of the main sources of our problems? You know, some people will find it uncomfortable. Say, no, it's not religion that it. No, because this is one of the main source of our problem. When you look at it, how can somebody be caged into believing that just go and pray and Fulani Caliphate will leave you, there will be miracle, everything will be okay, now Nigeria will turn into paradise? Is that not pure arrant stupidity? Because he's going to one church, and that is what they told him. Do you see why we are doing what we are doing? So that people will know the truth. People will hear and start asking questions. Ask a question. Why is it that they tell you that, look, Christ was not born mysteriously, is betrothed to Joseph? But when they are talking about the same Bible, when they are mentioning the genealogy of Christ, they go to the father, Joseph, that is son of David. What type of people? Can't we reason, for goodness sake, that there are some things that are manipulated there in order to manipulate our brain? They will tell you that no, it's Mary that the mother, but they didn't even tell you the person that they come out from the belly, the genealogy of Mary. Did you read it in the Bible? What you read is the genealogy of Joseph, but they tell you that he didn't meet Mary. It's the Holy Ghost. There are things we should ask questions. Mazi, please go on.
So, Maz, another thing I want to contribute is, our people said in Igbo adage, we are talking of religion. What have religion have done in our society? Another one that is worse than religion is these people called our elders. They are what they are creating now. In next 100 years, as you said, there will be no Igbo language. Igbo will not existing anymore. And this is not a religion. This is because of this so-called George Nyamodo, Ike Kuremado, Pius and Pius, one of them, Ojuzo Carlo, Okera. Anytime they are with Yoruba media arising on the channels, I'm there with them watching their statements. You will never in this world hear them say Igbo, South Igbo states, Igbo Eastern Igbo state. They can never say it. You never hear them say Eastern Igbo state. They must say 5 Igbo states. So sometimes I will be saying, if I see these people, I could have bring them by the side and ask them, please explain for me, what do you mean by these 5 Igbo states? And you can never hear them call Ikwosha. I never hear them call Ikwosha in their mouth. Obibo, you can never hear them in their mouth. Like this Iseruku, Ogwashuku, Anioma, Obiaruku, this Ubanke, you can never hear it in their mouth. Or they are making us to know that we are 5 Igbo states. So other Igbo states, they are not with us. So this is what they are trying to, they are showing it in us now. If we don't do things about that now, before 50 years, Igbo, the people that are born now will believe that we are only 5 Igbo states.
Mazi, pause there again, please. This is the reason why every time, if you are listening to my program, I will be campaigning against either write-up or speeches mentioning, when you come on, when you talk about Biafra, they say the Southeast. I hate that thing since I discovered the secret of what they are doing. Just like what you said, they want to carve us, press us into one corner for easy destruction. And these people we call elders, they are helping them. I'm telling you, just like what you said, if we continue like this, had it been that this platform is not around, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu didn't come, before God and man, we will be shrinked into, one day you will see a bunny, we say, declare there are no more Igbo. Enugu we go. They will now be calling it 3 Igbo states. Before you know, we finish. Everybody will go. Said we are no more Igbos. What we are doing, we are fighting for survival. We are not fighting even to get, the Fulani, the Caliphate, the Fulani, they are fighting to conquer other people's territories. But we are fighting for life, our own life. You understand? Otherwise, we are finished. These people should stop calling Southeast. We are East or Biafra land. It starts from Kogi, Lower Kogi, and Benue, down to the Atlantic Ocean. When you talk about Igbo, they are indigenous to all these places. But the worst crimes these elders committed, these Igbo elders, is allowing our people to be divided into bits, pieces. Carved some into Benue, they become minority there. Carved others into Kogi, they become minorities there. Do you know that when you hear that Fulani Caliphate, the Fulani herdsmen are killing people in Benue, most of the time it is Igbo people there. They are helpless. They don't know who to call. Our so-called elders just abandoned them completely, pretend as if nothing happened. The same way they abandoned our children, our people that were ferried outside our land during the war, children, orphans, that we are taken to, some to Tanzania, some to Gabon, some to Zambia, some to Ivory Coast, some to Ireland, some to many other countries in this world. Never one day they come and say, let us make statistics, let us check, how are these people? We are in a mess, honestly. Go on, Mazi, please.
Do you know that there's one HAUSA and the Senate? He's saying something. He mentioned our brother in the River Rhine. He wants to defend them as our brother. This Muslim president, this current one, show him, tell him, hey, don't go there, don't go there. Immediately this HAUSA close his mouth. Till today, he never mentioned the people again. So that's Fulani man that came from Futajelon. He's telling Okola, who is claiming that what he see on the ground, that we in Europe 3 will not see it. He's shown Okola not to be calling his brother, that he will not go that area at all. And the culture just behave like Asian, and they close his mouth. So maybe we have to begin to kick that too, as we are kicking the religion, because this one will be dangerous than the religion if we don't do things about that. This is my contribution today. Thank you and God bless you. Thank you, God.
Thank you very much. Let me say something. Mazi, all of them are intertwined. Do you know the reason? When these people are doing all this rubbish, these so-called elders, do you know why religion is number one factor? Instead of the people that are supposed to fight this thing, the pastors, the reverend father say, no, Bible say respect elders, and everybody will go down. Yeah, and Bible say respect the rulers, respect your elders. So they will use that verse in order to bring everybody down. So who will fight them? Who will go and correct them, boldly? Nobody. Because Bible says, go and bow down. Yeah, they are elders. Oh yeah, don't argue with them. Or they are elders. Even if they are leading you into abyss, don't argue. That is what they preach. Do you understand? That is what they preach. That is why you see pastors and so-called men of God, clergymen, whenever they talk about things, some certain issue, they first of all clarify that I'm not saying that Nigeria should be broken. I'm a one Nigerianist. I believe in Nigeria. I believe in, to clarify, to make sure so that no person comes for them. It's understandable. But here we must say it as it is, so that people will be liberated from their brain. That is the first thing. When you are liberated mentally, you can now have power to fight injustice, to fight bad things, to fight things that are bad. But when you are not liberated mentally, when you are still in a mental cage, immediately you come out to fight, they will use one thing or the other in order to cage you back. Just like NSAS. When Nigerian youths come out for NSAS to protest against SARS, the police brutality in Nigeria, they use tribalism, because they are not mature enough. They are not matured enough in order to carry out that fight. Had it been they are matured enough, they will grow above that tribalism. If those all the demons we call politicians in Nigeria, if they talk about tribalism, is Yoruba, is Igbo killing Yoruba, they will say, shut up, it's not that. They will counter them immediately. That is why we are going to the brain, you understand, to liberate our people. Caller on direct line once again, please call us. Okay, let me go to caller. I don't know why my calls on direct lines are dropping. No, it dropped again. Caller on signal. You have been there since 12 minutes. Mazi Madabuchi, welcome to the program. Can you hear me?
Yes, my brother. I can hear you. I hope I'm calling clear.
You are coming crystal clear, please.
Okay. Thank you, and good evening, Mazi Jonathan, and good evening, our daughter, our sister Miriam, with you.
in the studio.
God bless you.
Good evening, dear friends. God bless you. I love your name, Miriam, because I know the origin of it, and and I'm working the one. That's why you answer it like that. Mama Yeshua let's continue. Good evening, dear friends. I'm lovers of freedom. In terms of when they say pagan or no pagan, and whatever religion that our people practiced before the advent of the Europeans, I wish we were as we were, like the Japanese are maintaining their originality, like the Koreans are maintaining their own originality in terms of religion, and the Chinese, etc. They are not the worse off. They are not even comparable to our miserable situation. But we are where we are, but we have to set some things straight and tell ourselves the truth. I had wanted to sit out this night's, broadcast just to listen, but there's something our brother Jonathan said in the course of, and he deliberated with our sister in the course of the, broadcast. That was the issue of how we come to believe that everything about us is inferior, and even ourselves inferior, and we are nobody. My people, how we lost our intellect, and they want us to believe that our lives started 400 years ago when we got contact with the Europeans. You see, before the Greek were known as a very learned people, but the Greek were going to Egypt to get knowledge and enlightenment. And now, there was Egyptologists have done a very good research, in-depth research, to know who were the Egyptians that had that knowledge that the Greek were coming to take. It happened that the Egyptians we're talking about are not the Arabs that are occupying it now, because the Egyptologists I just talking about said that the original Egyptians were Negroes. Negroes are people like me and you who live along West Africa now, and those are the people who had medicine, that's physicists in their time, civil engineering in their time, and all manner of engineering feats they achieved, of which our ancestors replicated in Udi, where they built the pyramids and so forth and so on. So what I'm saying here is that the Egyptians, the earth they excavated, had light brown body or dark body with woolly curly hair, and they said crystal clearly they are Negroes. So what I'm saying is that what happened to that intellect that we had, that the Greek were coming to take, that made them one of the learned folks? It happened that when the Arabs came into Egypt, they killed, they decimated the original, the indigenous people, and they burnt their libraries where their documented knowledge were. They burnt it. They burnt it. And that's what the British did to our insipidity. How we wrote when they came. They burnt it. So they tell us now we are in West Africa. Our history started 400 years ago.
Mazi, let me address what you say. Sorry, yes. Don't forget what you
No, go ahead, my brother. Go ahead, my brother.
When people look at our situation now, it's a helpless situation which we are trying to arrange. What the Europeans, what outsiders did to us is really horrible. Let me compare it to, look at engineer Ezekiel Izog. He spent decades putting up his program, scientific research on a car, a particular type of car which he want to manufacture, and he manufactured a sample. Now, instead of the government to help him, the caliphate, they destroyed him and made sure they go and took all those archives, the blueprints of what he had been doing. You know, whenever as a researcher, sometimes even you will be bathing in the toilet after you run out with soap and just go and write something that comes into your brain. After you start exploring on that, develop it and putting it down. Imagine your work of 20-30 years become destroyed. How will you start again? That is why Ezekiel Ezeogu we are not able to come up with the car, because they destroyed it. What of our language, our Nchibiti? Where is it today? They destroyed it and made sure that they demonize it, that it's a writing of devils, that we are no more learning it, and we didn't know about it. And it stopped. That civilization stopped. That is how they stopped they made sure to stop our civilization. It didn't go on. It's a very bad thing they did to us. Go on, Mazi, please.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, brother, for your buttressing of the point. Now, they told us that we are living in some Uwad. They call it Uwad in the Dutch. That means the rainforest. We are living in the forest. But if we are living in that unknown forest, how come that we were said to be living in the kingdom of Biafra as early as 13th century? How come that area of West Africa was either called the kingdom of Biafra or the kingdom of Judah? If it was ordinary rainforest, how come we have a desert of Kush in West Africa? And how come we have a river known in Iguacha side, our riverine area today? Who are we? And that is a question that we keep researching. And one of our callers, your caller now, just referred to our elders. Now I have a question. It's a rhetorical question. Do we have elders today in Igbo land? Why I'm asking this question is that one elderly man I used to respect very well because of his feat in his in his profession, came out and said that a man marrying two wives, polygamy is not Igbo culture. It's not Igbo culture. Really? When has marrying two wives become taboo in Igbo land? Or has it become abomination in Igbo land? Or do they not know that there was a time a man was known by how many wives he married, and then that will detect how long his young ban will be? Because they had reasons of marrying multiple wives. So some people are trying now, the elderly people are trying now to tell us that it's not Igbo culture to marry two or more wives. Now, my question now, I have a question. Do these people who are saying this know that, or do they prefer abortions instead of having the lady bear the child and you take care of the child and the mom as your own wife? You prefer the children to be aborted? Or do you prefer the mom to live as a single mother? Or are you trying to tell us today that there are not some of you condemning somebody for marrying two who are making human sacrifice or human money ritual and other body parts of human being they used to do their things, and they come and sit in front of the church on Sundays? So what I'm saying in conclusion, my brother, I don't want to take much of your time. What I'm saying is that any Biafran who can maintain two wives should marry. It is not against the law of man, nor law of God. If anybody tells me, quote to me where it is in the Bible that a man cannot marry two. This is how they use this foreign religion to bamboozle our people and decimate our people. Our people are running abroad, wasting away abroad, and those who, our ladies at home, are not being married and have been defiled by Fulanis. And if any of our young men who is even doing well, capable of maintaining two ladies, you tell him not to marry, that European church says he should not do. That is not Igbo culture. Igbo culture allows two or more wives as long as you can maintain them. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you very much. I don't want us to be drawn into that particular argument now. In the future, we will treat all these things. Anyway, we have a topic that we talked about, paganism. That is what I want us to discuss about for now. There are many things that are fighting, many forces fighting against our collective interests. They kept us moribund. Caller on direct line, can you hear me? Caller on direct line, can you hear me? Caller on direct line, are you hearing me? Caller on direct line, can you hear me? No. No need of wasting your airtime. I cannot hear you. Caller on signal, welcome to the, caller on WhatsApp, welcome to the program. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir.
There, well, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mazi, Jonathan, Chinedu. I greet you once more. What Mariam, Ekenekwangi. God bless you. God bless you. That's how. Dalorin Zoku Ekelem Chukwa Biama Nisiunu. Kenekwa Chukwa Biama na Obibia, our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Kenekwa Chukwa Biama na Radio Biafra. Because Radio Biafra have done a lot in our life. Before I start, Akambo Mazi Malugo, Akapuna United Arab Emirates when I bought. Nkebezo Kubonandi Church Hariri Halili a lot. Erika Anyi Hariri Nuzo di Chiche. Wale Besiro Wedi Anyi Bondocha and Diocha Choloka Chapu Aburai because of wet Chukwabia Jwe Goziai. Yotago. The reason actually put Chapai because of wet Chukwabia Jwe Goziai. That is the only reason. He have a well game plan. Yeah. The white man religion and one contribute to 90% so Bundi buy and suffer today. Then 10% in those bad government and evil politicians. 90% be white man religion because white man religion did a lot of damage into the brain of our people. The world slave that even mad in this life is mental slavery. Mental slavery. Urban slavery mad physical slavery. Only again why they are slave. We now fight liberate your way. Man, mental slavery. Only again man on into slavery. Just like our people. So we must know that white man religion is not our culture. This is way game plan of white people, and any nation that accept this white man religion, nke hagala, nke that very nation hagala. Just watch Africa now, for example. On what Africa name of Africa is backward. Black Africa is backward in everything. Now watch Russia, watch Japan, watch China, watch Singapore, watch all these countries. Now they white man religion of Christianity and the Bible here and there. Look at their life. They are number one in the world. Everything Fane produce 90% or 99% that I may use today. Those people are on the unbeliever. But those that call themselves Christian or white man religion, this thing, you go to here and today no. They are the poor. Manahane claim no how abundant no God so. Na kai gwaka no why ezoku. Oblo yeku oyekwu panti efu. Nsogbu ai na gabiga tata white man religion. And they will be continue to be deceiving people. Unu news naga nke news gala na even na zoo media. Na o were for pastor na Yoruba land kwere siri dia member ha wote 300 and something thousand. Oge jebara flat ageje n'igwe. Oh my God. Okay, and there's some Mugu with a Lego believe that now. Okay, about half fat. Do you see how they brainwash our people. Do you see how?
But Mazi, I'm not trying to jump into Mazi. If you can allow me 1 minute, please. I want to help out what you're saying. I heard that news. I was laughing. You are paying physical money. You are paying that is being said to be sinful for a ticket to heaven. And you're giving this money to a pastor. My question is, the pastor won't be going to heaven with you. If he's going to that heaven with you, are you going to spend his money in heaven? Man, correct. I don't want to miss your thought.
My dear sister, it's very horrible. This what religion or fake or when you come Canonia. That no power. When you go okay now these are criminal religious leaders in their mean, but we tell them use the blood of Jesus, protect yourself. Do the name of Jesus, protect yourself. Use Holy Ghost, protect yourself. Use holy water, protect yourself. But you will see all these criminal religious leaders. They will use assorted security personnel to guard yourself. They will use army, police, and they single defense to guard themselves. A lot of security, physical security, because everything is practical. It's about the time our people wake up from their slumber. And another thing I want to say is that Alaba in the West and you were Chukwadam Mabakotelayazu. I put Elijah Tafu. Any nation gonna away with their origin and they accept foreign religion in Kendidota Gala. Kendidota Gala.
There were Mazi.
You know, buy Chabiaman United. I will end up now. More money than I buy Chabiaman. Can I until we turn back and go to our origin. White man religion is a fake. They have no power.
Mazi,
so say something about all these elders. We don't have elder in our land. I am elder. All these criminals have elder. I am elder. You gotta go. Thank you, Mazi Jonathan. No problem. Thank you very much.
Remember, let me say something here. When we like our brother is talking about white man religion, let me say something. I cannot say it's bad or it's good, but it is their thing. The problem in why our own is highly problematic is we turned against our own, demonizing it completely. It is absurd. I'm telling you honestly, it is highly absurd. I'm not talking and saying that this one is fake or this. No, there are many things there, but they use it, they manipulate something. You know, it's good for them. It is their own religion. As I read out the names of moons, they named it according to their gods. But many people don't know. In January, February, March, or not. Monday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. But what are the origins of this? They put all these things in place as a mode of conquest, so that they become superior. But the evil there is that we turned against ourselves. Do you understand? They made us, they deceived us into turning against ourselves. It's highly absurd. This is what we are fighting against. Had it been we developed our own religion, it doesn't mean that we are not going to accept. People are not going to enter into their religion. There is no place. Even in India, they have Christians, but they have limits. They are operating according to the law of the country, according to the law of their country. In Japan, there are a few Japanese also that are Christians, but they will be protected. They will be operating, respecting the law of the land. The law of the land, I mean, is the culture, because that is with that pillar. The pillar is the culture. That is where they stand. Now, before getting other little by little religions, you understand? So that is the thing. But they kept us moribund by destroying the fabrics of who we are. That is what we are fighting in order to explain to our people, so that we start understanding. Caller on signal. Can you hear me? Caller on signal.
In Japan, there are a few Japanese also that are Christians, but they will be protected. They will be
Caller on signal. Caller on signal. Can you hear me?
Of the land I being this state.
Do you see the problem?
With that,
I took the call, picked the call, is listening, he put the radio on. Caller on, no.
they kept us.
That is the problem. This caller on signal is a pity you have been there, but you know, you are listening to your to hear the radio first. I have a caller on WhatsApp. Oh, sorry, I cut it by mistake. I'm sorry. Caller on WhatsApp, I cut it by mistake. Let me pick this call on direct line first. Caller on my direct line calls are cutting, mostly from the zoo. Caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Mazi Jonathan.
There, welcome to the program.
My brother, even with this thing now, there's something that will make me want to say this. My name is Awesome Ozribu. I removed that easily. You know why? These people should not supposed to put that religion on us. It's a big crime. It is a big crime to do such a religion. My dear brother, if you be a human being, you will know that most of our people, billions have been going to hellfire in the name of Jesus. I'm telling you the fact. These people believe they commit and do anything they like. Never them, after all, they will forgive them. No forgiveness. No forgiveness for what you purposely do. You kill your own brothers. You will never go free. My dear brother, these people, they will never go free. Only that the fool will be look at them. This religion is supposed to be banned. Nobody to be talking it in Biafra. Keep it aside. I'm telling you, it's supposed to be banned. The white man supremacists.
No, man,
you understand?
I'm just angry.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
He has every right to.
Yes. Mazi, can you hear me?
I'm hearing you, sir.
Okay, I know that you are pissed off, you know. The issue is that there are, you know, sometimes when you, it's understandable anyway, it's understandable. But, you know, we are in a world order today that is not the way you think things should be done, that is done. That is a bitter reality. You know, at the earlier time, you have the rights to go out, to conquer, to take over people's land. You know, you have the rights. That is the rights that gave, I mean, the Europeans why they were able to travel anywhere they go. They claim it. Look at Britain. It has a claiming a Falkland in Argentina, an island near Argentina, but they go there, they claim it because might is power. It's arrived from the early time, and they claim the Gibraltar in Spain, between Spain and North Africa and Morocco. Look at it. From far away Britain. So they established this thing. Now they established this thing. They collected all these things through, like this guy used to say, what is the name of this activist, American activist? He said these people, everything they got it through violence. But now they pretend we're in a modern world. You're talking
about Farrakhan?
Louis Farrakhan, exactly. Louis Farrakhan.
Yes.
He said they don't have the moral right to come and to teach us how to be good, because how to be cool and not violent, because everything they have in this world, they got it through violence. But they have modeled the world we are, because they were first wise. That is why I am still talking about this wisdom. Wisdom is the key. Wisdom. Akonuche. Wisdom is the key to unlocking the secrets of the world. They conquered everywhere. They move around people's land and capture, take people. What about the island of Chalagos or Chalagos, where Britain or America removed the people, deported the whole people from an island, and used that place to test a nuclear weapon, to test different if they tell you what these people committed, these people that will come and tell you, no, you have to human rights. Look at their human rights now. Is it not what is playing on? Look at Russia and Ukraine. Their human rights. They don't want the opponent to talk. They don't want the opponent for you to hear the opponent what they will talk. Their own version of the story. All they want is to push you so that you continue hearing their lies, and after it will become part of you. It's very horrible. But we continue, because it's the wisdom. This is the secret. Once we obtain this wisdom, now we do things according to this modern world, and that is why what we are engaging, the agitation, is akonuche, akonuche. War of wisdom. That is why when you say people misbehaving, you laugh. It's a war of wisdom. You watch, now you do something. You watch, you put one step. Now you watch, and it's no more something like the old. There is an order in this world. Now you can no more go to another place and even if conquer there and stay there, take their land. It is the new order that we are in. Before they use all those the old order to conquer everybody, because they are the first people that are wise. You understand? So that's it, my brother. Please go on and round up. Thank you. Go on, please. Round up.
Thank you, sir. They are the first people to become criminality and the killers, blood suckers. That is what they become the first. I'm telling you, what you people are doing, most of the African people have been waking up. Like this, my brother, Mother, which said something that I want to put in. The first pyramid was in the Enugu, before even the Sudan, before the Egypt. My dear, even some of Egyptian Muslims now, they have been waking up very, very, very wide. They want to keep that such a religion apart, because they believe that once Arabs will bring this thing, they just take it and intimidate them. If you see how these people are collaborating with the Westerners, I mean, you will ask, are we the same Muslim or are we friends? Keep it on, my dear brother. We will say the open truth. Nothing will happen to us. That's where we stand. Biafra. God bless you.
Biafra. We have to apply faith and caution. That's it. That is the only thing we solicit. Akonuche kaino. And because you cannot fight against the whole world. That is it. Caller on signal, welcome to the program. We are inching closer towards the end of the program. Caller on signal, welcome to the program. Mazi, please go on.
Thank you very much, Mazi. Good evening from here.
Welcome to the program.
Mazi. My sister Heda. Maria Heda, good evening from here.
Good evening, my brother.
Yeah, thank you very much. I love your presence on Radio Biafra, talking about religion without any fear of favor. My dear sister, my name is Semi Chris. I'm calling from Italy. Let me begin, because there are a lot of program I've been listening, a lot of things have been said here, but I want to make some analysis and support what people are doing. Let me start from here. My brother Jonathan talked about countering people on their nonsensical ideology, or what they bring out in order to create division in other things. This evening, something happened I was coming from work. One of my our town guy, he lives in another part of Italy here, and he's one of those that have a very daft head. They don't even understand, even if they are saying about somebody. There are other people like that. He sent me a text message, and somebody wrote this text message. He copied it and sent it to me. You know what that person? That is what we are saying. We are countering a lot of things on daily basis on social media. You know what he wrote? Let me just read it small, just a very soon. He said, if Igbos truly want to determine who will rule Nigeria, who will rule this country today, they will, but they only sit back and lament without any action. He further said, Peter Obi is the most qualified candidate to rule this country, but Igbos are not with their voters card. Then I have to reply to him, because I know where this message are coming from the enemies. This message has completely emphasized why Nigerians must go their separate ways. If Peter Obi is the most favorite person or the most qualified person to rule Nigeria, why didn't other parts of Nigeria see that as well? Hopefully, this person that made this statement ought to comprehend that if Peter Obi perhaps win, he will rule, he will put Nigeria in order, and not only Igbo. So let those that have the voters card vote for him if they claim Nigeria is one. If they know that he is the most qualified person, what prevents them not to vote for him? Any country that do well in their voting strength on ethnic nationality has no point to stay in one country. However, this statement was purposely drafted for distraction and division. Now he ran away. He didn't answer me again. This is what we counter on daily basis. So now, countering what they are saying, because sometimes you think that these our elders, they know a lot of things. Because that's one thing we have as in the Shuji, particularly in the Igbo, we have one thing in our life. Don't know what that is? We have respect for a senior. We see it as it's cultural, even in our place. Those days, no need to queue up in line and say, who come first? If we have something to share, everybody will start. You will see how that will be divided, age by age, mate by mate. You see, everybody will come because we know we know each other with respect. And that is how that thing will be shared without any quarrel. If there is any dispute between age and other, the elderly people there will define it. And our elders use this occasion, use this chance to make sure that they bring down the young youth. When you want to talk, I say, Mazi, shut up your mouth. What did you know? Because we respect elders, and that is why they are using. There's two things we have in Igbo land. Three, or let me say. When you tackle them for their inability of reasoning things as things is, Hebola and Habo okay, in Akbari okay. Or rather, they bring it that they bring their academic accomplishment, or they bring it to money. In Urego, do you have money? So these are the three things we have to look into. Make sure that don't be intimidated by any elder, because I understand that they have none in their scores, and that was their old mentality. Those that claim that they know, if you go back to give them this digital phone, that they cannot even use it. But they claim that they are elders. Let me hold on and say I'm that thing, my brother. Secondly, I know your time is going off. Secondly, with my sister talking about the religion. When you say here that the angels came, you talked about it, and they talk about the Joseph, but they don't talk about the theology of Mary. Now, but from the heaven, they say angel came to visit Mary, and that Bible stated that angel told him to give him a name. And that will be a name given to him. And today, that name is not the name everybody are calling it. We are calling Jesus, but it wasn't Jesus, was the name that sent from heaven. That is my point. Then another thing, my dear, three things I want to say, then I drop. Another thing was how the pastor you are talking about. There's one Islamic scholar I like to listen sometimes. He makes funny. He said, if anybody tell you there's a better place on this world, and that person still remain in this world, why didn't he go immediately? Why is he suffering on this planet? Don't be deceived that no better place than this place you are. So if anybody tells you that there's a place,
an Islamic scholar, he's a guru, he's a sad guru.
It's okay.
Yes, he's a
okay, Buddhist. Okay.
In Buddhism. I mean, sorry,
yeah.
Hindu. Sorry.
Okay, Hindu. Okay. I used to listen to him. That man says something.
He talks knowledge.
Yes.
Honestly.
He said, why if somebody tell you there's a better place, so why not to die today and go that place? And that is the reasons why. But that's something I discovered, because on daily basis I used to ask myself questions and ask people. When I ask myself, I get my own answer. Then I move around. And when I interact with people, I ask them questions relating to that. Do you know what I find out in all this thing they're doing? Believe me, sister, from today, begin to ask questions. I have met many people here who unknowingly donated what they have labored in Europe to a pastor in Nigeria. Believe me. Do you know how they do this? My brother, when you step your leg there, you will never go back again. How can you tell me that somebody don't have money to eat food? A pastor will say, I want 10 people to bring 10,000. A man, when he say you do it, go and meet those people that did it. When the day something hit them, how they can go forward now? If you call them to go close to that church, they run away. Believe me, this thing had the Obahaka. Look at that channel, that thing that one of our brothers said. I saw it in a very dungeon place. They took these people where they're preparing them to heaven. But the pastor want to live on this earth with that 310,000. On this earth, you want to live. Those that tell you that they want to go to heaven, but they're building mansions here. Who will be staying in that mansion? A fool is only when they win your brain, your knowledge. And God bless you.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, my brother. There is something I want to also add in what he said. You know, I'm not a person that quickly believe that the person, this and that inside the church. I don't too much believe it, honestly. People, you know, we underestimate the power of manipulation, mental manipulation. We underestimate it. We underestimate it. Once these people capture your brain, you are gone. It's not a question of medicine. No. They will manipulate you mentally. Imagine every time somebody will call you, man, you know, I dream about come, or later he will start telling you something. Oh, it's coming from village, you know, this and that. Start telling you things. Is entering your skull, your brain, that internal. So all those things is for you to believe him, and that is why you see a family, a couple. Maybe before the husband will do something, he will not even tell the wife. He will go and tell his daddy or the pastor first. The same thing applies to the woman. This is for me. This is not about medicine. It's mental manipulation. If we are able to understand how the power of manipulation. This is what they study in their Bible schools. Mental manipulation. Somebody will look at you in your eye and start telling you something, this and that. Before you know, you believe. It's mental manipulation. It's psychology. It's under human psychology. Caller on WhatsApp. Can you hear me? Call on WhatsApp. People are calling. I don't know. I need to.
Good evening, sir.
Oh, thank you. I have somebody on direct line, but I mistakenly caught him. Very sad, but I'll bring him back. Now, call on what's up, please go on.
Good evening, sir.
There, well, please make it brief.
My name now Ojuku. Sorry.
Go on, please, go on.
I'm calling for Italy. Dede, because now, Mona, give me 1 minute. I table this matter of Christianity in short. White people not from Christianity, say now for God. White people found Christianity to destroy your spiritual career, your spiritual living. God created us as a Chukwu create us as a spiritual children. Indeed, inside us, to make sure that we must respect the culture of our land. That is the way our past respect it. Make them live with peace with God. No woman being this earth where fit to say another person mother food sweet person mother. Whether your mother sweet, your mother own sweet or not sweet, you must love your mother food more than you must love her food more than another woman food. In not eat another person food. You the Chukwu Okike now to tomorrow that this is what you want and you want him to do it for you. Without respecting your father and your mother, that thing cannot come. A culture of your land is what you will use as a law that will cover the land, that will make every woman in that land, small or big, to live as equal. Any region, any country can bring your own religion to your land to establish that or Christianity in your land. But one will not stop that religion, that woman being practicing that religion, to not respect the law of the land. By the way respecting the law of the land, it will make any woman being going to that religion believe that is a religion, a Christianity, is just a something from woman below. But now the white people did it and forced it inside some our people. Now the fathers then wanted to stand to let people know that this is not our own. They plan with those ones to catch up among inside we plan with them, use them to kill the original children them. Then the little one they remain keep quiet because the bad one superpower the good one inside. And secondly again, about Nigeria, this Radio Biafra is where you can expose your feeling. But I believe as IPOB, indigenous people of Biafra, under Mazi and Kanu, under oath that this freedom must get it, and that this freedom will not betray each other. And not see where he go make any woman being as an IPOB, indigenous people of Biafra, by talking, bring reason anything spirit of Nigeria matter. Talk less of talk about this one supposed to become a president of Nigeria, or this one supposed to be a president of Nigeria, because you know that if they shoot you on without removing the bullet, you treat that injury 9 to 20 years, that injury will not go till you find out to the bullet and remove all in your body before you start treatment, before that treatment go. With that out from that land, no day the land will be peace. And when the land will not be peace, no human being will be peace in that land. And if you like, run away from that land to any place, because you must remember that your land is your power, is following you anywhere you go. is following you. And secondly, we have the blessing that anything we touch will give us everything we need. Because of we refuse to respect the culture and practice, go back to start practicing our culture, it look like to get that money is not having everybody. It costs people now going to any evil place to seek for power, to not prepare the champ of getting money, prepare the champ to protect yourself because you refuse to respect the law of your land. The law of your land is the culture of your land. No one hates anybody culture. The Christianity, even though the Igbo itself is not their own, they have their culture. They're always practicing their culture. They're always doing their feast. When the month and the date reach to do the feast, they did it. But you now, they give the culture. You are not, you they give the Christianity. You refuse to practice your feast, to make the land, to the spirit of the land, to have peace. You refuse to practice it. You refuse to do New Year festival in your own land. You refuse to do every tradition in your own land, to respect your land. And now, if you are a woman being, share the share your ancestors, your fathers, you cannot stand up to tell people to come that you want to become a president of Nigeria. No human being will good. Mean that any human being talking about Nigeria or president or to support them, that person, look that person as a devil. Even though it's your mother, even though it's your father, even though it's your brother, it's the devil incarnate. Because
my brother.
Nigeria helping the coven of witches and wizards to be practicing it today. The day Nigeria will disappear, that day you will not see anything concerning witch coven again. I am telling you people. May Chukwu Okike Biema, I thank Chukwu Okike Biema to answer our prayer. To bring.
Thank you. Caller on signal, you be the last caller, please. Caller on signal. Are you there? My goodness me. Caller on direct line. I left. Can you hear me?
Has nothing to do. It has to do with my
me. I have this caller on direct line. I used to forget, honestly. Caller on signal, can you hear me? Please make it as brief as possible. 2 minutes is enough. Caller on signal, can you hear me?
Mazi, are you talking to me?
Are you not calling on signal?
Okay. Sorry, Mazi.
Go on.
I'm good. I'm watching it.
There.
I greet our sister that is in program with you. God bless. Mazi, there is something that I always ask, and I have not gotten the question. According to the history and other books that we have read them, gone through them, I understood that we have been in existence before the coming of Yeshua. Along the line, when Yeshua came to the world, he said his father sent him. He came to preach the gospel of his father, or to send the message of his father to the people that doesn't know his father, so those people may know him. Not knowing him himself, to know his father. Along the line, he said he came not to plus or to minus anything about the word of his father, just only to preach the gospel of his father to the people that doesn't know his father. But after the whole process and everything, when he left, after preaching the gospel and telling,
either you structure your question or contribution so that it is understandable and quick and straight to the point, please. We are on the verge.
Okay, my question, my I know, sorry, my brother. I know my question is,
after Christ left, how come do we have the existence of New Testament, but the Old Testament had been in existence before the coming of Christ? Then when he left, how comes the New Testament come to existence? While he said he didn't come to plus or to minus, but to make the word of his father to be reached to the edge of those who have not known his father. That is my question, please.
Yes, sorry, guys.
Mazi, so Wanda, do you want to say anything?
Yeah, what I would say is, with all due respect, I don't think he's quoting that scripture right. Yeshua never said that he came for the scripture to be preached all over the world. I stand to be corrected. When it comes to this particular context, I have not come to break the law. I have not come to add or subtract, paraphrasing, but I have come to make the crooked ways straight. So this is metaphorical. What do we mean? And he said, I am the way, the true way. So he wasn't really, from my own interpretation, understanding, he did not come to abolish, or he never came to abolish the religion that was on the ground, because religion is the gate, is the way. So he said, I never came to abolish the way, but I came to make the crooked way straight. So there was something doing, and if you go and study your Bible, you find that there, at the time he came, the Pharisees and the Sadducees have deviated from the pure way that the religion was supposed to be practiced. So what he came to do was to correct the spiritual leaders or religious leaders to follow the old ways, the covenant that was established, if I have to say, between God and Abraham. That's how I'm going to navigate this question and answer.
There, well, and what I want to say, because this is I don't know, people are still calling, but I'm not going to pick any more call, please. Considering what is written in the so-called New Testament, the write-ups there, everything there is written by man. Some of them you see are stories or letters by one person, and it was promoted to be an epistle, the gospel. You understand? Because of what I'm still saying, what I said before, because of the people that were on top that time, it served a purpose of conquest. So, owing to what I am seeing now, their actions and inactions, it makes me to believe personally that many things are doctored for some reason or the other, in order to subjugate, in order to conquer, in order to tell stories so that they will be on the top. I come to believe it because of what we are witnessing today in this our time. I start analyzing the character of these people. So, what is written, not written, they set it as a standard. The so-called New Testament, for example, you see some letters, just ordinary letters somebody wrote, letter of St. Paul to the Galatians, and it was added there for us to, to be arguing about something, that a story that was in their time. So that is why I don't want to go into details to start arguing what this and happened, this and that. What I'm saying is, we should put value to our own. That is Kyo ED. We must reverse back and start putting value on our own indigenous thing. That is it. If we continue arguing what page 1 of the book of Micah say, we will be killing ourselves, we will be more disintegrated. Now, I want our people to start researching. What did our ancestors say? What do you think that they told us? Why did the Europeans destroy the Nchibidi? Where is Nchibidi? Our hieroglyphic writing. How can we bring it back? And what is the advantage? What did they write that time? Let us try to go back to decode. What can we see pieces of anything that our ancestors wrote? That is what matters to me now. I'm telling you. I don't too much care about what the book of Ephesians say. That is not. When you go deep into all these things, you start hating, or you start hating things. Honestly, with the characters that are being exhibited now you understand how we are being dealt with. This is our own era of Renaissance. That is it. Our own era of Renaissance. Our sister said something before Abraham, maybe. Who are those people? His grandfathers. Who are they? Why were they not mentioned? All these records, because people developed something to write. That is how they wrote something. Even if myths, akụkọ ifo, because they can write. Now they write it. Just like James Hadley Chase. He will write a very beautiful piece.
Oh, Mazi, did you read that? Mazi, I read all. That's why we think I like Mazi. I read all the series of James. Mazi, I have the collection right here with me.
Yes.
I read.
So when
I was in Nigeria. Mazi, don't give
when you read the James Hadley Chase, you will think that it is something that you will be so mesmerized that it is something that happens. But you don't know that it is it is the product of somebody's thoughts, thinking. Oh no, those things. Very beautiful. So let us now I have all
the connections. I have all the connections.
Yes. So I don't too much get interested in start arguing what God said to this one. What did God tell our ancestors? Oh yeah, I
have spoken to them.
He spoke to them. Let us research and go back. That is it. So Wanda, please come in and do your parting shot. Let us
Mazi, just look my head that you're a student of James Hadley Chase. There were three famous authors. That's one of the things that shaped my curious mind, and the way I think they were very great writers, visionary writers. The thing will be, as you're reading it, you think you're watching a movie. The way their articles were. But anyway, thank you for bringing that up. So what you said, Mazi, again, to buttress to my closing, I'm going to make it quick, because I'm still speaking to my brother that spoke last. Even the Yeshua is invoking, if you go to the Bible, many times they ask me, Gentiles. It goes back to what we're referencing. Let's go back to who we are. Let's go back to our own culture. Find out what happened. Yes, no, but I can't believe that God kept quiet. He spoke to every other community, every other society. He never spoke to us. The point is that our own were destroyed, even when we were able to put them into writing. And every other culture started from oral history, passing it down. Even the story of Moses, the story of Abraham, everything were orally passed down until it came to a time when they were documented. So having said that, what I would want us to take home today is for us to understand that this word paganism or pagan is for anyone, describes anyone who holds religious belief that differ from the main world. In other words, when they call you a heathen, that's what they mean. It doesn't mean that the present or the major world religions now are more superior than the ancient religions. As a matter of fact, just like you've been able to establish, Mazi, today, kudos to that, that even some of the practices, some of the things we are doing to knowingly or ignorantly, we are still under the practice of paganism. So what are we doing? That's a question that we need to answer ourselves. So in as much as they have come and painted it over, They are still, in fact, this time now is even worse because some of the things they have brought in, probably our ancestors, I don't know how to explain, but what I'm trying to say here is that some of the elements of paganism are well and alive today. So when we stand up to condemn paganism, we are condemning ourselves. Let us go back, because it's something, organized religion, these men organized religion were used as a tool to manipulate and to make people feel less important or less human. So let us be encouraged to go back and ask those hard questions to our ministers, to our pastors, to our traditionalists, anywhere we can get it, to archaeologists. I know we don't have the ability right now, but we can make researches, ask the questions. Let's go back and find out who we are, because a society cannot move forward to find something new without them knowing who they were. We must find out who we are or who we were before we can move forward. You know, it's the same thing the Nigerian government have done. Tell me one country, tell me one society in the world, apart from Nigeria, where they abolish history. How can you now have a history? It's what we're talking about. You know, if not that IPOB, under the leadership of Nnamdi Kanu, is propagating all these messages through Radio Biafra, there are people who are Biafrans who had no clue what happened during the Biafran War or how we were massacred. And that is exactly what Nigerian government wants. Remove history from schools. How can any society survive without knowing who they were? So I'm going to rest on this note. I want to thank everybody that listened, and I want to thank you, Mazi, for great work again, and looking forward to more days to explore this topic. God bless you, Mazi.
There were, Wanda. Thank you very much. We must continue, and like what Wanda just said, let me start from there about the history. Nigeria is the only place where history is abolished. People don't ask critical questions. Why? Why is it that the very dark side of Nigerian history, they don't want people to understand it or to know it? The genocide committed in our land, they close it. They think that they will close it naturally. As people are growing old and dying now, everything will die like that. How foolish they are. How foolish they are. You know the Europeans, they give all these people, the caliphate, very bad advice. Go to National Geography, documentary channels. Every blessed day, one channel we must play the Second World War, history of the Second World War, in one way or the other. They know why they are doing it. They are doing this in order to keep reminding people, the Europeans, the Germans, the Israelis, the victims, the Allied forces, that this is not good. Look at what we passed through. That people die. Many horrible things happened. So that people will learn from history and avoid any situation that will bring this thing. But in our own, they say, no, just close it. Put a lid on it. So that as time goes on, the whole people that know this history, they will just die off, and others will forget it. How do human beings think this thing is normal? It's possible. It's not possible. It's not possible. That is why Nigeria is in a mess. In all this, conclusively, we should understand that religion is man-made. Religion is man-made. Any person that is telling you that God created or God formed religion is a liar from the pit of hell. Otherwise, you tell me which religion God belongs. You know, our sister have asked one of our brothers that called, and they couldn't answer it. Because what in every religion, come to miracle, they will receive miracle. Your own way. I mean, what you think of miracle. They have successful, very successful people, both monetarily, both politically, in every religion, every mainstream religion you are talking. They have people that are doing very well in Hindu religion, Buddhism, Islam, Christianity, every religion, Judaism. You have bad people there. You have good people there. Now tell me, which one is formed by God? Religious domination and imposition goes with conquests. They conquer the people, or weaker people's religions are always given derogatory and bad names in order to dissuade the people from practicing it, so that it fades away naturally. That is a tactics. It doesn't necessarily mean that the mainstream world religions are the best. Rather, it is better organized than others. That is the only problem. Organization. And that organization comes to human beings, just like government. Look at Nigerian government. It's not organized. No enforcement of law. People do things with impunity as far as you can buy justice, as far as you know who you have connections. That is exactly like religion. Religion, once it's organized, look at people are worshipping, they are calling others idol worshippers. But as far as it's organized in a nice cathedral, now the idol will be brought there, painted, marbled, everywhere will be shining, electricity will be shining, modern way. Now people will be worshipping it. That is a human organization. It's the same thing like government. Anything you don't organize well, you don't put your human organization, organizing capability, he enters into moribund. It stops there. I gave an example the other day. Imagine, just like this, the way the world religion, the mainstream religions, and our local religions, which people are now even going, because people don't understand it. People are ignorant. Now they are trying to corrupt it, thinking is the way. Now I gave this example. Imagine, for example, you are building, the two friends are building houses. They bought plots of land in the same area. Now they started, for example, they started the foundation together, and they did the foundation. Now one stopped at the foundation. No matter the vast plots of land he has, the same plot of land, his friend continued it. He left his own on foundation level. He has a good plan. The plan of the house very good. It should be a castle when completed. The other one, he continued building his house and complete it, marbled it, everything. Put ties, everything, electricity shining, everywhere shining. That is, he put a structure in place. Now, people will be living there happily everywhere. Where are you going? I'm going to this house. Where are you living? He will be proud to say, I'm living in this house. Because it's completed with human technology, with human organization. Everything is there. Every amenities are there. Compared to the opposite, when you look at the opposite, it is darkness. The opposite, they started at the same time, but after 20 years later, still that one under what do you call it? The grassroots level. That is foundation. Rain has fallen on the foundation until even there, until it turns moss started growing. It turns green and black and anything. There now will become a den of hippies and robbers. People will even be going there to cheat. Why? Because that place was not developed. It stopped somewhere and neglected. No matter the plan, you go there, you will only what you see are waste products. People will be throwing trash, garbages there. You see people will be coming there to smoke, will do every kind of bad thing. Why? Because that place was neglected and not completed. I want to bring it this comparison to what we are doing, to what we are seeing today, mainstream religions and our own religion that was demonized. They made us to, they encourage us and we foolishly demonize it. And we left it there like on the foundation level. No development, nothing. Anytime you go back, what you see is bad things. That's it. Anytime you go there, you see shit. Because it was not developed. Do you see it? That is what I'm telling you. Everything depends on human being. Religious development, physical development, everything, it is on we human beings that have to prepare our pillow, our bed, the way we should lie on it. Not waiting for one other creature from another planet. It is impossible. That is what the Europeans, the secrets they knew. You understand? That is why this program we target the brains of people in order to open it, so that you start asking relevant questions about that thing. They tell you, no, don't go there. No, don't ask. Are you asking God the question? Tell the person, no. Where is the God? Are you the God? I'm asking question to learn. God give me brain to learn. That is it. They stunted our growth, made us left our way of life, and it became moribund. It became a den where people go and shit. Somebody will go and start washing people, looking, he says he's looking for a boutique, doing different dirty jobs. The same thing, people go to toilet on house that is not completed because it's not developed. It become a dirty place. What we are doing is for people to sharpen their brain and go back. Stop arguing on Paul say, Peter say, they wrote in the Bible say this and that, and the book of Corinthians say, what did our ancestors say? We better research and go back and try to find out. That is wisdom. We are in the era of Renaissance. Do you understand? As I was saying, the conquered people or weaker people's religions are always given derogatory and bad names in order to dissuade people from practicing it, so that it fades away. It doesn't necessarily mean that the mainstream world religions are best. Rather, it is better organized than others. All religions are equal. Therefore, referring to our traditional religion as paganism is ignorance forced on us for centuries, which we have taken as a normal way of doing things. The same way names of months and days bear names of pagan European gods. But due to prolonged conquest and imposition, we have now completely accepted them. We shall advance better by using mostly our own traditional way of life, which is our religion. It is never paganism. Do you understand? It is for us to do it better. I thank each and every one of you for listening. Tomorrow is another day. Remember, we don't cast aspersions. We reveal things so that you understand and you open your brain and make the right choice. That is what we do. Otherwise, we as a people, we are in danger of extinction. When we talk about extinction, it's not only about physical extinction, no. Cultural extinction. Cultural extinction will bring about physical extinction as a people. Do you understand? When we demonize our ancestors, demonize our religion, we start demonizing our language, what is left? It's finished. After that, we start demonizing them. We start telling us that egusi is evil. Eating egusi is evil. And we start demonizing it. Now start eating hamburger that we make you bloat like a bolombolo. And within 20 years you have high blood pressure. Some things that we don't have, because we don't cherish our own thing. This is where I'm going to stop. Thank you for listening. Tomorrow is another day. Our leader is in the enemy territory, but he must be released. We say it and say it without any apology. We are not part of anything Nigerian politics. Nigerian politics, electioneering, Igbo presidency, Yoruba presidency, Hausa presidency, TV president. That is not our problem. All we want is for people to decide first whether they want to belong to that zoo called Nigeria. Plebiscite, referendum, and we must get it. Thank you for listening. Biafra is our ideology, our religion, and who we are. If you have any other religion more than Biafra, know that you have not started. Therefore, from me, Mazi Jonathan, together with Wada Marian The Hader, it is simply
good night.
Good evening.